だったら割とセットは楽ですね。
USA は私ファン、マリオコレクション
Alright guys, this is the moment you've been
は
waiting for. It's time for the Super
あ、ど
Mario
うもこんばん
Series
は。
Relay
始まり
Race!
ます。
はい、来ました。
なんかちょっと知ってるんですけど、マリオも引き続き私がついでにしちゃいますかね。出るの忘れてま
あ、
した。
本当ですか。
さすがにステージはやったことあるので全部わかります。
さあ、
1話
3人のレースですね。3人、3チームのレースですね。
いや、後ろの方すごいですね、会場。
うん、もう埋まってますね。
椅子がすごい増えてる。
Alright, I'm gonna count it down to 5. If you guys like to join me, that'd be fine.
Oh.
So in 5, 4, 3, 2,
ゴー
1, go!
はい、スタートです。
大好きなステー
行く
ジの
ぞ
1の1で。いや、みんなちょっとルート違いますね。いきなりちょっと左下の人はアート取って、
もうキノコ取らないで。
We have Team Birdo, we have Team Boom Boom, and we have Team Reznor. Up for Team Birdo, we have MrCab.
これワープレスなんで多分もう
ですね、1の1からちゃんと8の4までしっかり走ると思い
For
ます。
Team Reznor, we have Cosmic D12.
20分ちょっとかかるんでしたっけ。全ワープレスだと。
I'm off the blues, and I'm representing Team Boom Boom, also the winning team.
Not so much.
で、左下の人ちょっと面白いですね。ファイ
ファイヤーになるんですね、もう。
あ、今スライ
You'll
ド色
notice right
綺麗
away
です
some
ね。今
differences in strats going on here. You'll notice that MrCab
まあ有名だと
is
こ
using
この
a
1の
large
2で
fire
上に行くんですけど、
Mario,
まあ通常プレイ
whereas,
なので
Lactac and Cosmic are still small
普通に
Mario.
行きますと。
That will
通常とは一
change
体
a little bit later, though. Previous to
さあ、ここは、
SGDQ, Lactac used
ちゃ
to
んと
always use
時間を合わせてゴールすることで、花火を打ち上げないというね。
ちゃんとタイム調整ですね。
あと、そうですね。
右の人がもうこのちびマリオだけずっと行くらしいですね。
ルールはワープしない
ぐらいですからね。あとはもう通常プレイカットハテナっていう感じですけど。
花火が打ち上がる様子はないですね。
花火は何と何で上がるんでしたっけ？バツと
そうですね。1、3、
throughout this whole relay, you're going to get to see a showcase of several different types of strategies
6
for beating these games warpless, and a lot of it comes down to player comfort, especially in a no reset
で、まあ
situation like a
この作
marathon
品の
like
クッ
this.
パは弱いので後ろの
It's
端
going
を
to be
落とすだ
really
けで。
interesting to see the risky strats versus maybe some safer
で、
strats.
炎の人は炎をつつくだけで倒せるので、ちょっとこっちの分早いですね。
さあ、橋がね、その崩れる演出がない分、ファイヤーマリオで倒すと早いという、
そこをちょっと見
それを使って、
多分2のステージを見たことはあんまりないんじゃないかなと思う、ね、2と3は。
The advantage of being small Mario in this glitch state is that you get to keep the small hitbox
さ
that
あ
you normally
フラワ
have
ー
in
を
small Mario.
取
You
る
get
こ
to use
と
the power up of
の
having
ロスは
fireballs,
回
which
収した感じですか
helps in
ね。
two ways. It helps you clear out enemies in stages, and it also helps you kill
ちょっと
the Bowser
あれ、なんか
friends.
チビファイヤ
The
ーマリ
animation
オにな
for
って
the
ませんこれ。
bridge does not occur when you kill Bowser with the or Koopa with the fireballs.
さあ、水のステージ。
チビファイヤー来た。
ここの水のステージがこの見えてないんですけど、石の下とかが変な水流になってたりするので結構操作が難しいんですよ。で、結構イカがいやらしくて、ちゃんとそのマリオの頭の上にいようと移動してくるので。
やっぱりチビマリオだと敵を避けて進まないといけない分、ちょっと遠回りしなきゃいけないですけど、ファイヤーマリオはそのまま
らざるを得ないですけど、
撃破してるんで、その分、おっと、ロスっていく。
チビファイヤーはちょっと見たことないですね。
危ない307秒ですね。あと1秒遅かったら花火が。大丈夫か？花火が打ち上がる秒数、おー危ない。
5秒ですね。
Okay, Alter Blues. So the most commonly asked question in darbian stream when he's playing this game: why do they hit the top of the flagpole instead of the bottom? What's the deal?
All right, so the thing about this game is that you have to wait on the flag to come down in any case. But what's important to note
結構
is
この
that
魚の下から出てくるのも結構事故りやすいのでちょっと怖いところです。意外とこれラインで一定なんですけど結構事故ったりしやすいので。
多分速度を緩めなければ絶対花火は上がらないんでしょうね。あ、1-0。おお、綺麗。
And in some stages that can make the difference between making the earlier frame rule. For anyone who's not familiar, Super Mario
素晴らしいワンジャンプで。
Super Mario Brothers 2 Lost Levels both operate on what
で、
before
ちゃんと
first
左の人も。
止まっちゃいましたね、ちょっとね。
unless you can beat the stage
まあちょっと位置調整が
21
ちょっ
frames
と怖かった
faster,
ですけ
you
ど、
can't really
まあそこは
save
もう
any
高速
time.
で。
The game is sort of locked to these 21 frame cycles.
Yeah, darbian professional analogy giver
ちょっと右の人も
explains it as a bus waiting for you every
抜
21
けられま
frames
した
at
け
the
ど、
end
や
of
は
the
り
level.
橋がね、
So it doesn't really matter how many
落ち
frames
る演
you
出は
gain
長
or
いとい
lose
う
as
こと
long
で
as you
振り向い
make
て
that
ファイヤーを打
frame
っていき
rule
ま
or
した。
that bus schedule.
やっぱこのハンマーブロスはちょっと壁ですかね。ちょっと右の人がこれで。
さあ、落ちちゃったんで順位が入れ替わりますね。
MrCab in the lead and lack
まあちょっ
あ、
と
右が一番早かったのか。
Yeah,
う
the
ん
big difference that you're seeing between runners so far, aside
さあ、
from small mistakes, the big differences you're seeing is just the number of power-ups that were necessary. In order to get into this state, MrCab needed to pick up 2 power-ups, which cost whatever time he had to slow down for them, in addition to the actual power-up time.
それでもまあちょっとその序盤
これは
の速さ
花火が上が
の
ってしまうか？
3 power-ups over the course
左
of
上
the
の
run.
人が早いですね。
And you see right there the risk of doing the small
あまり
Mario
この2と 3 の
strat.
ステージ見たことは少ないんじゃないかなと思いますね。ワープのせいで一気に4まで行きますから。
The margin for error is a lot
今
thinner.
花火が上がった分遅くなりました。
Now, at the end of these stages, you'll notice that the players want to buffer their time.
ファイアワークス
Fireworks
と言っ
on
て
a
ますね。
6, a 3, or a 1, you want to avoid those. So we're going to see those numbers being avoided. In
ファイヤーワークスは見ない方
Yeah,
がい
the
いんです
one
よ
firework
ね。
doesn't actually end up losing any time, but the 6 and the 3 can be quite costly, especially if you're anticipating getting specific frame rules for
まあ
players who are
上が
really
っても一
confident in
発
their
ぐらいなら
skills
なん
and
とか。
who have played this game for a long time and can play consistently. A lot of times, one of the reasons why the randomness of some of the more difficult stages that we'll see later in the run don't actually cause quite as many problems is because of the fact that if you can guarantee that you've gotten the same frame rules,
160
you
秒ゼロ
tend to get the same patterns from enemies.
MrCab going into 3-4.
はい、こっちも260秒ですね。こっちも
Cosmic
260秒。みんなタイム一緒ですね、ゴールタイムが。
まあ速度緩めなければ一緒になるっていう感じですね。
トータルでどこで安全策を取るか。
なんかどっかの壁に引っかかったりするとタイム変わってきちゃうっていう。
はい
And right there you can
早い
see why fire strats are faster, just being able to get over that bridge quickly.
まあマップの半分ぐらいの差がちょっとついちゃったかな。
Another reason why the frame rules can be important is
ファイヤー
that
打つ時だ
in
け
the
ちょっと
different
やっぱり大
castles,
きくないといけないんで
there
デ
are
スク
these
チャーが一瞬だけ
fire
大きくなりますね。
bars and portaboos, and some of
フ
those
ァイ
can
ヤ
be
ー
on
マリオ
set
は。
schedules. Sometimes even losing frame rules can
で
be
4の1ですね。
optimal for setting the fire bars in the castles a certain way.
まあ大体これくらいで
Another interesting
4
thing
の
about
1な
Mario
ん
1 that
で
a
ま
lot
あ
of people
3分
will
の
notice if they're
い
new
や
to the
まあ
run
半
is
分はまだ来てない
how
ですね
tight these jumps look as you jump over the piranha plant. The piranha plants actually don't have hitboxes in the top part of the plant, only the stem.
で一応
So
次の
you're
4
able
の
to
2ワー
jump
プあ
through
るんで
those.
すけ
That's
ど、まあ
something
今
you
回は
cannot do
使
in
わない
Super
という
Mario
ルールな
All-Star
ので、
version. And that'll be a difference that you will see
結構4のワープは
when we
難
come
しいんですよ
to
ね。
2J when one team is going to be playing on All Stars and one on Famicom Disk System.
All right, so we see MrCab going into 4-2 earlier.
そのブロ
This stage obviously famous at any percent for the most difficult trick in the game, but we get to skip over that here, which is nice.
It's nice to see sort of the variety of strats. When you see a lot of runners sometimes opt to choose taking the top of the stage. If you can move efficiently, it's not actually that difficult to get on top of the stage. The only time you really lose is falling back down the shaft of the elevator at the very end that you need to come down. So you see the top runners and you see that they actually play the stage out.
4の1はね、
It's quite a bit safer to go
ワー
above
プ使う人でもみんな見る
very
から。
much time.
Black and Cosmic only about a second between them. Still a very, very tight race.
So This is probably the point in the warpless run where the game kind of ramps up the difficulty. Right after World 4, entering World 5 is where a lot of the more difficult parts of the run start. Now, the castles have always been a little bit difficult, but the stages are going to ramp up
か
quite
か
a
った
bit.
か
You're
ら
going to see that
もうちょっと
coming
早
pretty
くクリア
soon.
できるか。3
Also, the most important and impressive part of this run is that this isn't even Mario's full-time job.
やはり基準タイムが260秒、残り260秒みたいな風に見ていくと 何秒早い遅いが分かるそうですね。
で、4のステージはちょっと8のステージもあるんですけど、決められた道を行かないとボスのところに行けないというものなんですけど、おっとちょっと炎がすりましたね。しかしカバーがいいですね。
The Bowser in 4-4 can be one of the most difficult ones. Now both Lack Attack and Cosmic didn't have to slow down.
ああ、だいぶ巻きましたけど、まあ橋の落ちる演出があるので。
Lack Attack handled that Bowser perfectly.
まあ5のステージも多分ほぼ見たことはないんじゃないかなと思う。
We have a $100 donation from Bearman that says save the humans,
止ま
kill
った
the
ら死ぬ
animals,
人みたいですね、もう。
go Team Birdo.
マグロですね。247と。
完璧ですね。
That was excellent on MrCab's part. It's very difficult to
一度も速度緩
it's
める
very
ことなく、
easy
引
with
っか
just
か
a
りも
small
せず、
mistake. You have to slow
47
down
と。
to
あ、皆さんインス
end
タ
up
タイ
with
ムで
the
す
6 on the
ね。
clock.
一緒です
Actually
ね
fighting。against
これは
time to get the 7.
緩めなければこうなるっていう。
で、ここハンマーブロス行ったんですけど、死に消されましたね。いいですね。
What are the stakes for this
Yeah.
one?
チビマリオにとってはちょっと
Runner's Choice donation
ちょっと怖い。
足止めさせられる
Well,
というのも
whatever
結
he
構
wins, I think he gets all of the
あれ
runner's choice
ハンマーブロスの動
donations
き
for
も
the
結構ランダムで上に行くのかジャンプフェイントなのかっていうので、ちょっと怖いところがあ
You
る
know
ん
what
で
your
す
team
ね。
decided on?
we're going to be
皆さん
saving the
ちょっと
animals.
いい感じの場所にいてくれました
おー素晴らしい。
ね。
Skybills, do you know what your team's doing for that?
We have chosen to kill the animals and save
と
those
3、4、6になってしまったので、
はい
これちょっとロスが
さあ
入ってし
My
ま
team
すね。
has all fuzzy photos from
Fireworks.
Earthbound. I think that was it.
1、
Did I get it
2、
wrong?
3。
No, you did.
一番
Just shake
大
my
きい
head
や
at
つ
you
を
in disgust.
引いてしまいました。
ちょっと遅れましたね。
Plus, there's a side wager going on here,
そう
isn't
です。
there?
ここのキラーもランダムなので、ちょっと嫌な位置にいるとジャンプができなかったりするんですけど、
So heading into 5-3, these bullet bills are random. Makes
そ
the
んなに
route
頻
just
度
a
は少な
little
くないので大
complicated
丈
for
夫だ
these
とは思
runners.
い
The
ます
stage actually
ね。
presents quite a few challenges because of the bullet bills
260
and the
ですね、どっち
concentration
も
of enemies. This is
ですね。
basically
は
just
い。
1 to 3, but with random
完璧です
fireballs
ね。
or with random bullet bills. But because of all the bullet bills that are there, if you don't kill the enemies in just the right way, you can actually end up with some necessary platforms despawning, making it impossible to beat the levels.
So, Alth and Sky, you both have played all of these games
ク
a
ッ
number
パ
of
ー、偽
times,
クッパーを倒した
especially in
時
the
の
Warpless
時
relays.
が、なんかちょっと
What
違う
would
の
you
が
say is the
倒
difference
される
between
の
the
がちょっといい
physics
ですね。やっぱ
that
り
we'll see throughout this series, starting from 1 and going
偽
all
物
over
で
the
した
world?
っていう。
Well, 1 and 2J are very similar. There's a lot of
やっぱりちょっとチビファイヤー維持できてるのが強いですね。その分やっぱりちょっと差がまた開きましたね。ミスがあったとはいえ。
bounce heights off of enemies, for instance, and definitely when you get into issues with whether or not you want to play with Mario or Luigi, for the purposes of this race, I think all runners are using Mario. But it definitely changes quite a lot when you
あ
get to some of
と
the later
1秒で
games.
クリアしちゃいましたね。ということで一
is
発。
very
まあ
similar to
一発もらっちゃいました
one in the respect
上がります
that there's
一発もらっちゃいます
basically
いいの
one
もらっちゃい
running
ますね
speed. Once you get running speed, you're at max speed,
あ
and that's what you've got to work with.
あ、みんなここ1秒でいきますね。
Small
まあ
differences.
一発だったら
With SMB3, there's
速度緩めないでいった方が早いっていうことですね。多分最短でいくと秒数だけど、花火を上げないためにどっかで待機したりする方がロスっていう。
It's not shown on screen, but controlling it's a lot easier. I think the Super Mario World runners would agree.
Yeah.
2と。
And 6-2 is a
ね
really nice
上がらな
stage
い
to have Fire Flower for.
2
You
秒
can
で
see
す
how much easier that is, getting through all of those different pipe jumps than
But
it is in
watching
Little
someone like
Mario.
Cosmic,
プラスマイナス1秒どっちも花火上がっちゃうっていう。
6-2 is
あ
already
ーっと、ちょ
challenging
っ
enough
と
stage.
ミスが出ました。
Oh, death right at the end of 6-2.
リセット。
This is
リ
already
セ
a
ット。
challenging enough stage with a power up doing it.
さあ
Mario
1マップ
only
差が
is.
ついてしまう。
まあ、アメリカのところのチャットはやっぱりちょっとある意味団結力があっていいですね。ちゃんとみんなリップとかリセットとかみんな言ってますから。
Notice all the donations are for Team Birdo. Seems like a smart decision to
ま
make.
あちょっとまた最速で入れたので。
So how about we make a wager on this?
I think we already did.
Okay. What is that wager?
So whichever of our
さあ
teams
一
beats
面
the
丸
other
々差が
one,
ついてしまったが
that person has to speedrun a game of the other person's choosing.
Okay, so if you guys have any terrible games you want Author Blues to speedrun, worse than the normal ones he runs, tweet at
こ
me.
の方のちょっと怖いところなんです
Keep
け
going
ど、
down.
まあここもちびマリオが有利なところですね。
I don't know. I think that there's
で
still a lot
この
of
ステージ
room
からち
left.
ょっとハンマーが投げてくるのでちょっと怖いところなんですけど、まあファイヤー持っていればもうなんということもないので。
You know, it's really a testament to Cosmic's skill in this category that
Absolutely.
Even with some of the issues that he's had, he's literally right behind these guys.
Yeah, with 2 deaths being 1 level behind is incredibly impressive. It's the risk you take of
Yeah,
doing
綺麗
the
です
small
ね、
Mario
色が。
strats. In Marathon, it's riskier.
ハンマーブロス君もちょっといい感じに出
He's
てくれ
definitely
てます
got the
ね。
best PB of these runners. And
これリレーなのかどうかちょっと分かんないんですよね。レースとは書いてあるんだけど、その
Lack only a couple seconds behind
ちょ
Mr.
っと右上
Cab.
が
Yeah,
ち
Lack
ょっ
made
と
the
気分
choice
早
to
くいった
slow
の
down a
で
little bit at the top of the stairs there. He saw
ちょっと
that
花
if
火
he
の
had
部分
jumped
がちょっ
off,
と
he
差
was
が
going to
つ
get
みました
3 on
ね
the。clock, which would have earned him 3 fireworks, as we mentioned before. It only loses a small amount of time to get 3
7なの
fireworks,
で水のステージで
but it
す。
lost less time for him to
あ
slow
っ
down
と
the
ちょっ
top
と
of
こ
the
こは
stairs. That's why he
左上の
chose
ちょ
to
っ
do
と
that.
So you're
ハン
saying
マーブロス
it's
君
not
が
very patriotic, is what you're saying.
ち
That's
ここは
that's
ファイヤー
probably
マ
what
リオ
I'm
じゃな
doing.
かったところが
Now, are any
だ
of
と
these
思い
runners
ます。
っていう
going to
の
be
と、
shrinking
あ
the
とはまあ
hitbox
使わ
as
な
this
くても
one
くぐり抜けて
levels?
くれるように一番上と真ん中にいてくれれば、ちょっと左下ちょっと被弾しましたね。あーっとゲストがうざいところですね。
ここがここでロスっていく
So MrCab losing power up.
右上の独走になっちゃうか
Doing
こ
a
れ
good
は
job of
ちょっとチビファイヤーマリオに慣れ
kiting
て
those
るのが
bloopers
ちょっと
over
大きい
so
です
that he
ね。
can stay alive. First time he's
まあ
lost a
水
power
流
up
の
all
と
round,
ころ
which
で
is
ちょっ
really
と手間取っ
impressive.
て、
For large hitbox Fire Mario,
まあ
that's
最低でも
a
死なないようには
special
しな
challenge
けれ
just
ばい
holding
け
on
ない
to it for the whole run.
死ぬと抜か
He
れちゃい
still
ま
has
す
an
ね
opportunity in 7-3 if he wants to get a mushroom. That would definitely help him quite a lot.
さあこれで抜きましたね。
Basically evens up Lack and MrCab now.
そうですねワールドまでみたいですワン、ツー、USA、3ワールドみたいな
For all intents and purposes, RNG here.
Yeah, there's not a
さあ
lot of
ここも
patterns
魚
in
が
this
下
game
から
that
出
are
てくるステージですけ
completely
ど、
impossible to navigate
基
at
本
full
的に出て
speed.
くる数
But
と
man, with
出てくる
some of the
ラインは
patterns
決
you
まっ
can
てる
get,
ので、あとは戻ってくるところで当たらないところ
Cosmic going risky going into that pipe and just went past the blooper.
ああ2が USA なんですねおーなるほど
ちょっとジャンプの回数が1個多
We
い
have a
分、ちょっと遅れましたね、
$237
左
donation
下。
from EFT that says, Young boys beat 30-year-old games fast for charity. Let's go.
まあ
for
その辺
Team
ちょっとお楽しみにっていうふうにしときましょうか次やるのが何なのか
What?
で、7のステージも
Okay, so this
まだ
is
こ
our
の無限
second
回
USA
復。
の次
game.
か
It may not seem obvious why they're choosing the route through the platforms that they are.
いやー
but
俺
they are
USA
hitting
の曲
specific
大好きなんだ
triggers
よ
in order
な
to prevent
ててててててて
the
て
level
て
from
て
そうですね
Yeah, it's basically a puzzle stage, and the game expects you to keep looping over and over
いや、
again
また
until
右
you
上
figure
が
out the exact
速
right
くなりま
path.
したね。
When Oth and I first started learning the
さあ、
puzzle
ファイヤーじゃ
passes,
ないので、
especially in the
下をくぐ
lost
り抜けるし
levels,
か
I
ない。
asked him, how do you know the routes are here? Oth told me, just take the worst possible path through here.
So I think going into World 8, now's about the time to mention the way that we're going to
さあ、
handle
ここ
the
から
trade-off between
次のステージで
games.
すね。
So just for a handful
結
of
構
reasons,
まだ8の1
decided
はいいんですけど、
to add,
2か
just
2
1
と
minute of
3がもう
downtime
かなり
between games. That's
難
gonna
しいです
give
からね
runners a。chance to step in and out. It's going to give us a chance to
まあ
change
今のところなんかジャンプとかによるミスあんまりないのでその辺はなんか
ちょっとした事故ぐらいで
Yeah.
うん
I thought that
な
was
ん
part of the
か
race.
あんまり
We've lost a lot
同様
of games
に
now.
よるミスはなさそうですね
8-1 a particularly long stage. Most of the levels in World 8 are a
素晴
lot
らしい
longer
ロスなし
than all of the levels that we've gone through so far.
And SMB1 and SMB2J in particular, I believe there's no checkpoints once you get into World 8.
あっ
So
と、
accuracy is
2、
important.
3と3発上がっちゃいますね。
そうですね右左下だから左画面の方は徐々になんか差が詰まってくる可能性が
でチビファイヤーを維持できているのが非常にちょっとこう右の人強い。
You can definitely see how much fire is helping Lactac
ちょ
mitigate
っと
some
ここ
of
で
these
危なかっ
issues
た
in
で
this
すけど、
stage.
Oh, is he?
1秒と
He didn't get a good bill.
お
Yeah, World 8 is definitely
ちょっとまた
level that or a
左
world
の
that
人
the
が
any
しま
percent
いまし
runners
た
are
ね。
masterful at. It's basically half of the any percent run. So Cosmic being a prolific any percent runner is obviously
いや同様
very
による
familiar
ね
with
ミ
that.
スは
He's
ないと考え
probably
て
the
いただ
best
こ
in the
う。
world at 8-4. 8-4
貴様
being the
この
only
ゲーム
level
やり
that
込んで
doesn't
るな。
actually have a frame
あ、今
roll,
かっこよく終わらせようとしましたけ
because
ど。
it's the end of the game, so you can
で
actually
ちょっと大
save
きく
frame.
しかも
I believe
右
he is the
左上
best
の人
ever
取ったん
recorded
ですけ
at
ど
8-4, so
無敵がないの
going for
で
the
そのま
mushroom
ます
there.
ぐちっちゃくなっちゃいましたね。
Unfortunately, the bullet bill being right in top of him as he got it.
もう魔界村の鎧の
You
鎧
see
みたい
that
な使い
brief
方になっ
moment
ちゃ
of
いました。
hesitation, looking to see if he could get the shot, but
ここでファイヤー
wasn't meant
獲
to
得
be.
ですね。
MrCab
しっかり
getting
取
his
っ
fire
て。
flower back, probably a good choice. The end of this stage can
さあ
be
ここも
incredibly
実はハンマーブロス
stressful with
君
all of
が
the hammer
出れてくれ
bros.
るかどうかなんですけど、
Yeah, the Hammer Brothers
じゃ
are
あこい
probably
つら
the
床にいる
most
んですね、普
difficult
通
part
に
to deal with in this game.
なんでファイヤーがないとかなりきつい。
おーうまい
Honestly, even speedrunning wise,
左上のブロスの倒し方めっちゃうまかったですね。
ああ、そうですね、今。
Smart of him to go with
いや、ちょっとこれ
ダンツー
おーうまい
キル。おー、うめえ。
Black Tech definitely went for the wall jump pick.
素晴らしい。
いや、さすがちびマリオで来るだけある
Cosmic
な。
Save 3, oh my gosh.
あ、しかし花火が上がってしま
Cosmic
う。
had no issues handling those hammer brothers.
What you just saw Lack Attack do and you're about to see MrCab do
さ
is
あ、初のス
wrong
テージ
warp.
も
So essentially,
正しい土管に入って
destroying the
いく
screen
のが
far enough to the right
いいですね。
to kind of move the trigger for where the warp would be, but they can still get into the pipe. And they will actually end up going to that water section.
右の人はもう終わりそうです
That's
ね。
not where that pipe's
ああ、もう
intended to go.
無理やり突破していく。
もういいですからね。
We
もう
have the end
はい
of
イエーイ。
Team
20分切りましたね。
Sub 20 minutes by Lack. Really, really nice time.
Really impressive. That's a solid
あ
run to
リ
start
レ
off
ー
the
そういうこと
storyline.
か。一つ終わったらまた次の人が次の作品に行くっていう。
We actually got a
もうだから
silly person
やっぱりリレーですね。これは
Go Team Boom Boom.
これちょっと面白いですね
And go。
全
like
作品
that.
通してならまだ
Good job.
差は分かんないですからね。さあここで
You can see the
Really
special
good.
challenge that MrCab had.
先に USA
2014
一応 USA かな。こっちだと
USA ですね、これ。で、しかもこれはファミコン版
はい
There we go for Cosmic.
コンソールで言えばそんな
さ
に差は
あ、
ないですね。
右上が先に USA に入りました。で、左下も USA
So as
に
they set
入り
up,
ま
we're
す
looking
が、
at
セットアップの
less
時
than
間
a
は
30-second gap between all three teams. So this is
Yeah,
still
this is
incredibly
super
tight.
close race.
これで差がつく可能性が、F1 のレースみたいにそのピット作業で、あ、なんか線が入ってますけど、これ大丈夫ですか、これ。左、あ、やり直しですね。
And with that, we
Yeah,
have
so-
Justifin going ahead and starting off Super Mario Bros. 2 US.
ででで
さあ、先に始まりま
He's
した
going
け
to be
ど、
picking Toad
He's
right out the
gonna be
gate.
BGM.
Now, you're going to actually see a lot of really interesting strategies right at the
ファミ
beginning.
コンなんで色と
There's
か
a
違います
lot
け
of
ど、
really
フ
interesting
ァミコンで
tech
こ
in
の
this
色は
game.
すごいな。
Obviously, for those of you who have ever seen Super Mario Bros. 2 US
さあ、セットアップで時間が、
the most
時
important
間
tech
ね、
is
セ
that
ットアップ時間で
for
差が
whatever
ついて
reason,
しまい
Toad
ました
being
が
the、slowest character in the game, they decided
F1 です
that
ね、もはや
all he has to do is
あーあとちょっと
enemy, and he's
ピ
now
ッ
the
ト作
fastest
業で
character in the game.
左上
That's
に
what、
あ
they're-
ー、これちょっと、映像が、
We're getting a little
そのまま行きそうですね。
いやー、これはちょっとしたハンデです
Nothing Sven
ね。
can't handle though. Oh,
さ
and
すがにちょっと
Justifin
リセットするわけにはいかないですから
dying
ね。
at
こ
the
の
end of
まま
1-1.
行くでしょう、こ
い
れ。
やー、これはちょ
One
っ
of
と
the
かわい
most
そう。
difficult parts about this speed run is that the
さあ全員キノピオですよ
Arno
ね。
continues. When you die in a world, you start
いいですね
at the
大ジャンプも
beginning
成
of
功
that
してま
world.
す、そ
So
れ
if
で
you
も。
die on 7-4, you start back on at 7-1. Can make this game really unsafe for a
いいですね
situation
ボスも
like
好き
this,
ですし
especially trying to push the game as fast as you can.
後半に最後の出口トリゲット戦うのも面白いですからね。
さあ、これはボーナスは全然ね、チャレンジも何もしないという。
So, something
さあ、ルイージですね
interesting to note
この
about this game
見てください、この
is
バタ
that
足
this game is subject to a lot of,
ルイージのこの
this game has a lot of similarities with SMB1
見どころですね、
in
一つ。
regards to, frame rules. So
バタバタ
you might
すると
think
飛
that
距
this
離
game
が伸
doesn't
びる。
really have frame rules to it, but one way to think about it is at the end of every single stage, there's a
ち
fight
なみに
against
これの
Birdo.
せい
And
で、
in that
まあ、ちょ
fight
っと空
against
中の
Birdo,
対空軸
Birdo
も伸び
shoots
て変な
eggs.
性能になってます
And
ね。
those eggs are actually on a global timer. So based on when they start the level, every I think
すごい。
254 frames, Birdo fires another egg.
So you can see Sven
鳥
doing
加
a
速
quick
ができてい
carpet
る。
trick where he gets on one carpet and swaps. Makes the carpet go considerably faster, and he's able to skip over
同
a
じとこ
whole
ろで加
section
速してま
that
す
you
ね、
go
キノピオで。
inside the door and have to get a key for it. Also, kind of weird seeing Sven
という
kill
こと
a
で、
Birdo
こ
on
の
Team
実は
Birdo. I don't know
USA
how
は
I feel about it.
マリオとは名ばかりにマリオは一切使われません。
So
マリオを
what
使うんだったら
you
キノピオを
just
使
had
い
to do
ますと
there
いう
is
感じです
pick up a
ね。
vegetable after coming out of subspace. Unfortunately, no luck, but that would have been able to take out Birdo very quickly.
ですね、キノ
For
ピ
any
オ
of
は
you who
ま
play
さ
this
か
game casually, you probably see
物
that
を
at the
使う
bottom
の
of
が最速という
1-3, you typically go to the top of
お
the
ー、
stage to get a key
Umai.
and then go to the bottom of it to open the door.
ああいいですね ちゃんと抜けていきます。
壁抜けファンの方、お待たせしました。
これです。マリオは壁抜けが基本っていうのは、もう誰が言ったか。
Just able to skip through different stuff. This game has a lot of really interesting tech and glitches in it that I think are really interesting and fun.
さっきのキングダム発はなかったですけど、壁抜け成分はあります。壁抜け成分あります。
ちゃんとね、出口の扉が開くところにスタンバって倒す。さあ、左下の方はね、画面が乱れてても心が乱れない。関係ない、ね。
遊びは終わりだ。
当たってしまった。両方ね、自爆してしまいましたね。
ちょっとボムを見ると遊びは終わりだとか言いたい。
爆ボンじゃなくてボンバーマンの
遊びは終わりだ。死にたいらしいなですね。
One of the nice features about the All-Stars version of this game is you can actually skip that fanfare that happens after by pausing and getting the menu repeatedly. Unfortunately, in this version, we don't have access to that menu.
キャシーの頭の上に乗ってそのままポイするのがすごいシュールですね。
K07 that says Team Resnar has my heart. I still believe in my boy BJW.
BJW been playing very solid so far. Nailing all the tricks. Couldn't ask for too much
こ
more
の土
right
掘
now.
るのが好きですね、これ。後にも先にもこれしかないですからね、USA のこの。
Digging is really difficult. Do you want to speak to that as somebody who's run this game fairly often?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different approaches to digging. You see a lot of the top runners
このままでは
get
終わら
really
ん
good
ぞは
at
ちょっと
digging
ボ
pretty much
ンバーマン
straight
関
down,
係
it
ないん
looks
だよ
like.
な。
And they pick these specific lines and patterns that allow them to move
キン
pretty
グオブファイ
quickly.
ターズの方に帰っ
But
て
more
ください
important
と。
than any of that is sort of how do you deal with it if you don't have the rhythm down for digging as fast as possible. One of the issues with that is that, as you can see, there's a lot of enemies who would like to fall on your head, but they sort of move left and right based on your position in relation to them. So you can dig specific patterns so that when they fall down to a lower level, they actually just walk away from the hole that you're digging, which is extremely convenient and particularly useful for going fast. Is to
やはり
not have
右
to
上
worry so
は
much about
あま
the
り
enemies
ロス
falling
ら
down
ない
your
です
head.
ね。
安定してますね。
You'll see that Svenne actually was able to star kill that Birdo. If you're able to get a star all the way to a Birdo fight, you can just run right through them and not have to.
Yeah, the timing for that can be very difficult,
Yeah,
but
it's a tight window.
if you can do it, it's quite a bit faster.
There's an easier version of that star kill too in World 4 2. We're going to see a little later on.
Yep.
シェリ
What
ー
other
調整も
characters
完
can
璧
we
でした。
expect to see in this game? I'm going to see all four characters.
レロレロレロレ
You will see probably all four characters, at least from most of the players. In most of the stages, you pick based
みな
on
ぎってき
what
た
you do the most.
スタート
of.
したの
So
で
for really stages where you need lots of really long jumps, you're going to see.
ああ、そうですね。
If you
あ
see
ー
stages
敵
where it's just a lot of running or digging, you're going to see
一直線に掘っちゃうと、そのまま
There
敵が
is
ストーン
one
と落ちて
particular
きちゃいます
stage
も
where
んね
it's。faster to use Princess Peach or the princess, and that stage is just one where there's one particularly long gap that
左
allows
側
you to skip
が
a segment
割
of
と
the
近
stage.
いけど、
And then for a lot of these runners, you're probably going to see them
近い
use
けど
Mario
やっぱりちょっと
in
差が
3-3.
ワンボス差
Mario
が
is a really
あります
well-balanced
ね。
character, and that stage just has a large
左下
balance
画面も
going
乱れてますか
horizontally
ら
and jumping vertically.
ちょっとカセットが刺さ
My
って
boy
ないの
Svenne
かこ
throwing
れ
an item at Birdo at the same time the egg came out, being able to get a double hit there, save a little bit of time. Overall, the race is still really close.
Yeah, this is exceptionally close. Yeah, Just Defense having a little bit of a challenge getting the powered jump. The reason is that while you have the star activated, you actually can't see whether or not your character is flashing to indicate that you actually fully powered up. So if you try to rush it while you have the star, you have no visual indicator that you've succeeded.
And Svenne being a champ, just enduring the audio or the visual issues that are going on in front of him, just
い
staying
や早いです
focused.
ね
I
右
think
上や
Sven
っぱり
deserves
ミ
a
スがないです
special
し
appreciation for being able to play under these conditions. It doesn't seem to be affecting him at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
And there you saw a quick kill on Triclide. You can actually throw the bird directly on him.
Yeah, there's a lot of pretty cool quick kills on these bosses that you might not have ever seen if you've only played this game casually. Just really creative strats, in my opinion, compared to some of the other Mario games I just really like. this game's definitely kind of the black sheep, or a very different game than the others, and it's got a lot of really cool speed tech that you won't see in other games of these Mario games either.
It looks like BJW just barely missed the timing for getting the quick kill on Tri-Clyde, but ended up clutching it out at the end anyway. It's worth noting here, if we're just talking about PBs directly,
お
that
ーロックマンみたいにやっぱりツタ登りながらジャンプしたりしてましたね。細けー。
though they're all fairly evenly matched, I would say.
I just wanted to say before you guys keep continuing on, but we did reach $900.
おー、行きました。一気に増えましたね、今。
That is awesome.
Let's get to that 1 million, guys. We're almost
90万になりま
there.
したね。
来ましたね。
You're going to get to see Justifin using Peach in order to, or Princess in order to.
しかしこのドネーションの内容がさっきのスーパーメトロイドのあれなんじゃないかと思うと、どっちに転ぶかまだ分かんないね。
そうですね。どっちなんだろうか、殺すの
You're
か
also
生
going
か
to
す
see
の
her being
か。
able to jump off of the ladder and go above the
壁抜け
level,
ファンの皆様。
skipping a substantial
出ましたね。
portion of this stage.
Yeah, this is going to be a running theme.
なんか変なところ
throughout
歩い
the
て
game.
ます
You
よ
can actually jump off of vines, ladders, and chains. In this game, it's very tight timing. So if you just try to do it by yourself, let's say that you're sitting at home and you fire up your console, you may
1
not
フ
get
レー
it,
ム2フレーム技
but
もす
you
ごいね。
have a small frame window to still press the jump button when you step off of a ladder. It happens to be much larger if
お、
you're
すげえ。
playing as Luigi. So if you're
決めていき
holding
ま
up
すね、
button
お
when you
互
step
い
off
に
a。
ちゃんと
ladder, you have 8
卵
frames
2
to
連
hit
し
the
ましたね。
jump
素晴らしい。
button. For every other character, it's only 3. And if
あ、
you're not
もう
holding the up
全員
button,
ピー
it's
チ選ん
only
でそこ
one
抜
frame
け
per
ますね。
character. So it's actually really difficult to pull off. But it's a major part of skipping large portions of some of the levels.
ピーチでこういうことするからスマブラで多分フューがついた
Here
ん
we're
で
going to
す
see
よ
the
ね。
first appearance of Mario. What's the
こ
reason
す
for that, Chad?
So this is a well-balanced character that works well for what this stage has. So there's a lot of segments of
いいですね。
straight climbing, and Mario happens to have
頭をこすりつ
really
けながらね
balanced jump height that also
滞空
works
時間の
really
長い
well
ふわ
for
ふわ
some
ジャン
of
プを
the
してい
heights
く。
or some of the distances between some of these platforms. So when we get
あ、
into
マリオ
the
来た。
next
本当
room
だ。
and he's jumping between
マリオだ。
platforms,
ここはマリオなんだ
あ、しかも
ね。
他のキャラと比べて表情がすごいいいですよね。ちゃんと作り込まれてるというか。
主人公です
and his jump height, he is the clear choice for this stage.
こいつはしがない配管交差。
Enemy to get substantially higher than he normally would.
You can get a rhythm for these vines when you have 2 chains next to each other, or 2 ladders, or 2 vines. You can get a rhythm for going back and forth between them to climb faster using jumps.
危ない。
We have a $10 donation from Oath for Blues says
さあ、
refresh
ルイー
token
ジを
equals
使っ
go team
て
boom
る。
boom.
Nice.
左下はルイージが登場してますね。
このところルイージ抜ける感じですかね。
Alright, so we have Justifin right now going into the second Mauser fight. Both of
エセ
the
チャ
other
ット
runners
勢
are
の
going to
方
be
が
going into Mauser 2 in just a second
あん
as
まり
well.
USA を
This Mauser
フ
fight,
ァミ
the
コン版
major
となると
difference
したことないの
between
で
this one and the previous one is this one takes 5 hits, and in addition to that, there's also this spark that's going around the screen the whole time.
It's very frustrating casually.
Yes.
And you see Sven using Luigi in this level instead of Mario.
あ、マリオを使う方がレアなん
You
で
want to
すか
speak
ね。
to why
う
he's
ん、
doing that?
逆に。
Well, I think he said that he had a few specific strats that made. Oh, okay.
おお、抜けた。
Yeah, he mentioned specifically that there was a frame perfect
ルイージはあの
glitch. I
抜け
think
が
it
で
was
きる
that
のか。
door
へ
entrance
ー
right there. If you input the jump button, the jump the right
ルイージの
time, you can skip a little portion of
し
that
ゃがみジ
stage.
ャンプしながら
In
なんか
addition
う
to
ねう
that,
ね
I
動く
mean,
感じがいいです
all
ね。
told, the
さ
amount
あ、
of vines that you
右
end
は
up
さすが
climbing
で
in
す
this
ね。
stage,
宇宙
you're
勝
able
利
to
と
have
思いきや、
access to
そんなに
just
上に
jumping
行ってない
straight
で
up
す
them
ね。
much
しかも
more
爆発したし。
easily. It makes him not a worse choice, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Luigi's definitely an interesting character to get used to using casually because of just how floaty he is, but huge advantages at some of the speed tech in this game, specifically with ladders and just jumping over certain gaps.
さあ、さすがに追いつくのは難しいかな。これは右は。
So I think I've been told in the
でも
past.
左下もそこそこほぼ最速
But I
で
think I've been told in the past that taking that hit as you grab the orb there saves some lag
いや、
frames.
しかしこの画面の乱れからよくここまで。
Sorry guys,
And
we're
yeah,
gonna go ahead and fix this right now. That's why we have everyone at a
あ、ちょっと
pause.
セーブをして、
Do not worry, it's gonna keep going.
と
あ、何かするのかな。
あ、ちょっとやっぱりソフトが
So just to make this fix, I'm gonna go ahead and
リセ
use
ット
the
になった
warp
の
to
で
just
元
catch
の
up
ステー
to
ジに
where
戻る
we're
前にみんな
at.
タイマー
That
を
way
止
we
め
don't
て
have too
待ってくれてますね。
much video just kind of going crazy on you guys there. So
Maybe one more round of applause for Sven for playing so
Absolutely.
well up to this point with his console
ちょっ
like
とさ
that.
っきのでい
I
く
mean,
と
to
やっ
be
ぱ
able
途
to
中で
pull off the
止
crazy
め
tricks that
やっ
he
ぱり
was
途中で
doing
止
in
まってし
addition
ま
to
った
some
よ
of
う
the
ですね。
strats that really no one else goes for. And even
ってこ
now,
と
I
は
mean, all he's doing is trying to get back to level 4 and he's playing like
4
fire.
のさっきのは4の
I'll read a
1ま
couple of
で
donations
行
while
くま
we're
で待って
waiting
てくれる感じ
for
ですか
Sven to
ね。
get to the
まあ
level 1. I have a $200 donation from darbian that says, "Go Team Birdo,
Yeah.
marbles, 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 marbles,
Marbles,
marbles, marbles,
marbles,
marbles,
marbles.
marbles."
marbles.
Oh my goodness. We have a $30 donation from
さっき
Thompson Harbor that says, "I'm so excited for the rest of
今さっき
this race. I had to donate again. Go Team Resnor, killing the animals for my man Riley." We have, oh my goodness, we have a $50 donation from the Sticky Stick Man that says, "Incredibly happy to donate during my most anticipated run of this GDQ.
はい、
Looks
加速。
like it's going to be an exciting race so far. We'll donate another 15 if Team Boom Boom wins, another 20 if Team Birdo wins,
Yeah.
and another 25 if Team Resnor wins." We also got a $2,000 donation from Tang En. Supporting MSF is one of the best causes that I could put my money towards. I've kept my powder dry all this time, but I've got to go support grandpoobear. It's time to raise the stakes. Money goes towards the runner's choice. Come on, Mario Speedrun community. Let's see if we can push this to 1 million.
One person just needs to donate $93,000 right now, and we're good.
Yeah, we'll just be
Come on.
totally fine.
Don't be cheap, guys. Come on. It doesn't look good on you.
Got $100 from Anonymous that says, "Go Team Resnar, kill those animals."
Okay, so here you're going to see the warp that you wouldn't normally see in warpless.
All
Ah,
right, here we
飛び
go.
ました
About
ね。
ready to go.
All right, guys, we're gonna count it down again.
Two,
So in
one.
3, 2,
と
1, go!
はい、
Awesome.
タイマー再開ですね。
It's a nice little halftime break, you know?
Yeah.
Get some Gatorade.
Now I feel like I can really see that screen.
Yeah, go over the game plan. Talk to the coach.
I think it's amazing that even
や
this
た
far
ら
into the
四角い
run,
クジラですね
we're seeing these riders.
Yeah. I mean, there may be favorites and underdogs in each game, but overall, these are like, you
These
know,
are all the best.
でまた
some of
謎
the
の
best
飛行機と飛
Mario
行機ロケ
players
ッ
in
ト
the world. And many of these runners run most of these games. They don't just stick to their game. And so there's just a lot of talent going on right here. It's pretty amazing to see it all in one place.
So here we got Justin going for the star kill.
Yep, and you got
The
it.
window for it's a lot easier in 4-2 than it is in 2-1, but
と右がまた
This
ル
maneuver
イージ
that
が
Sven's doing here, this
ましたね
part is pretty tricky, at least to newer runners, just trying to
ね、
keep
突
your
発
speed
的
and
に
dodge all
そ
of
の
these different things flying at you.
リカバリーしましたね、運営が。
And you can see Luigi riding an egg with the plant over his head.
so the main
That's
reason
something you're
he's
into.
choosing Luigi right here is because there's a big gap he can jump over right here that skips pretty much the entire stage.
It's important not to go in the wrong door, otherwise you'll be locked out of it.
That's true.
いやーもうこの辺のボスとかもちょっと覚えてないな
We all remember this one.
あーちょっと惜しい
Really good fight.
That was a great fight. Sven pulling off the star kill himself. Well, BJW
おー素晴らしい
Fry
早い
fight. Oh, that was a
これちょ
great
っと詰まり
fight.
ましたかね。
That was risky, and he pulled it off. There's a lot of swagger on Team Resnor. They're going for some bold moves. I respect it. Respect their game.
さあ、卵に乗
So
って
much of 5-1 can be
顔パイ
skipped
パイ
just
して
over
ま
a
すね。
series of long jumps. If you miss a jump, you can actually clip into some of those platforms. So not all is lost if some of these runners were to jump a
Looks
bit
like
short.
Justifin's taking a really quick detour for that extra one up.
Yeah, so
本
as
当だ
we
った
said
ら
earlier,
手
this
前
game is
の
really
ドアとか
punishing
に
if
入っ
you
て
game over.
中を通っていっていかないといけないんですけ
You
ど
will have to go all the way back to the first level of the world you're in. Other games that we're playing here, a lot less punishment. So taking an extra life there and losing a couple seconds, probably not the biggest.
おお
Oh, wow.
素晴らしい。
持ち上げたら死にましたね。
So we find our first gray or silver birdo here, and that just means you're not going to get any eggs out of that birdo. You have to throw mushroom blocks at it. There's 3 variants. There's the pink one, which will shoot all eggs, the red one, which will shoot some eggs and some fire, and then
マリオワールド、スーパーマリオワールドまでですね。
What if I'm colorblind, Skybills?
この後2が入って3、2、3ワールド。
Oh, okay.
全5作。
3が一番かかりそうかな。
そうですね。
Alright, so you've seen some,
3は何でしたっけ、ボスの戦艦バトルが長いですよね。
あそこも時間かかりますし、ル
an interesting choice. Toad obviously
ート上にやっぱりギミックがあるんで、あいつらが変わってくると、まあでも結構固定だったんですけど。
ワープなしなんでね。
はい。ワープありだと笛に克服だけで2から一気に8のステージまで行けますから。だからそうすると1、2、8ね。
But this game kind of goes by level how you feel comfortable, and that's kind of a really interesting thing.
まあこの5作を約3時間かけてリレーしていく感じなんで、まあそんなにかかんないとは思うんですけどね。さっきみたいなトラブルも想定してそれくらいの時間だと思いますけど。
And with that fish in the way, there's a gap. It's kind of a smaller segment. It can be very challenging.
どうなんでしょう。ワープはしないけどバグは使うみたいなやつだったらそうかもしれないですね。正直どういう
の BGM とかもめっちゃ良いはずなんです。
正直こういうレースのルールわかんないんで。
So now we're getting into level 5-3, probably one of the longest levels of the game. The boss strategy is very interesting here. You need to throw the projectiles into the wall, and you can get anywhere from, I want to say, 2 to 5 hits.
Yeah, it definitely varies. Anywhere from just the normal 1 hit you might get to, in some rare cases, being able to get all 5.
ワープありだったら。
This is probably the most challenging stage in terms of a casual play.
本当に戦艦のバトルが強制スクロールなんで。スクロール待たないといけないんですよね。
BGM もいいんですけど、時間的には。
And that's going to make the original carpet move a lot faster, especially because at the time Toad is also holding an item, so you get an extra speed boost there. Oh wow.
That was sweet.
Almost.
いややっぱ決めてきますね、ちゃんと。
Now he's going to be going
スタートに出てくる球をその場でジャンプちゃんと入れる。
This is a crab that throws rocks. He's going to be trying to get his hands on one and bank it off of the back wall.
さカニですが。
おー
素晴らしいな。
すげえはめた。
Really nice.
すげえな。あんな倒し方するんだ。
That is extremely hard to pull off for what it's worth. I don't know if that was obvious from watching it.
Really nice fight by BJW still.
すごい。
Team Resnor and Team Boom Boom pretty tight. Team Birdo not far behind.
マットカセもやっぱりそこは失敗しないですよね、どちらも。
We have a $200 donation from Wallach that says, Team Birdo, Svenne is the man.
また$3000ですね、多分。
We also have a $20 donation. Says, Go BJW. I had no idea you were running today, but I love watching you run when you do. Much love,
ああ、失敗し
Coco.
ましたね、あと1回。
Nice kill. All three teams within a minute of each other.
So this is probably one of the most interesting stages to watch. It's very challenging to learn how to do this. The intended strat for this stage is to just ride one of the outposses off to the right. But you're going to see these runners choosing to use Luigi and making these very precarious jumps between enemies. Most of these jumps do line up somewhat naturally, but there are a few that are very difficult to pull off. A small frame window right off of the end of one enemy just barely gets you onto the next one.
That's always been strange to me. It's almost like they
すごい。
set that up as
ルイージだとスムーズですね。
because of the way those
また$5000が一ポンと。
so naturally to use with Luigi.
Definitely.
10万単位で
His favorite part
金を
of
使
Super
って
Mario
くる
Brothers
この
2,
人
getting
たち。
chased by that mask. Have nightmares from being a kid. Just always after you.
Well, you know what? I don't think it scares these runners.
So
I
coming
don't
up
think it does.
Coming up in 6-3,
日
we
本は
have
多
that
分
potion jump
や
here
っ
coming
た
up
と
on
す
just defense screen.
T シャツを買ったとしてもこっちには反映されないかな。
まあ
寄付はねされますけど。
The alternative is going underneath the wall, which takes time to sink under the sand, and then you move much more slowly in the sand. BJW pulling off without any trouble.
We'll see Sven doing the albatrosses now.
Yeah, he goes for it with a slight variant in the strat. He doesn't take the vegetable, which is slightly faster. You don't waste the time picking up the vegetable, but it's very dangerous to do because you only have a one tile wide gap to land on that little island versus a 3 tile wide.
まあ日本でもねその
This triclide fight
募金とか
is very interesting.
による
You saw Justin going for an
税額
extremely
控除はある
aggressive
んですけ
variant
ど
of
ね
the strat.
日本からアメリカにね
BJW
その
I think
送
the more
金
common
するシステ
variant.
ムが今生きてないんで
What you're about to
So-
see is
あ、
7-1
もちろん
and
裏ルート行きま
7-2,
す
the
ね。
abbreviated version. Very short levels caused by some sequence breaks going on.
Yeah, this level in general is supposed to be
み
extremely
んな
long.
左側のルート
7-2 even worse off. Here we go, Sven going for the potion jump.
First
Gets it without
try.
trouble, no trouble. All right, Justifin was unfortunate to have the enemy that he needed to jump off of despawn, so he's currently trying to get him to spawn back, but unfortunately those pots just keep spitting out enemies and it's causing problems. There he goes.
Is that due to a sprite limit?
お
It's a
お
sprite limitation.
今のうまくい
All
き
it
ま
takes
す
is
ね
being
今度
slowed
は
down just a little
ただ
bit.
左下がちょっと岩の
I
上
think
に
there's
来
some
ました
other
ね
things that cause it as well, but losing that enemy,
そのまま
there-
詰めていっ
going
てほしい
under is really not a better option. Really, it's
あー、ちょっと
better
処理
to
落ちが
always
危ない
go back and try to respawn it.
Sven taking it safe there.
ちょっとあれですね他の
I think he made the
上
right
2人の
call there.
倒し方と比べて体当たりしに行かなかった
Even
感
for
じですね
speedrun strats.
判定取ったんですけどさっきの車
Especially in
輪
a
が
marathon like
椅
this,
子
the
1回で
strategy
2
is
ダメー
really
ジ与えたん
interesting
でちょっと
because
そこが
you know, you don't necessarily need to
Jack
win or
Dante
lose your
actually.
race. You're trying to keep your team in the mix, and so sometimes being risky has a price to pay. Just not just yourself, but the rest of your team. So
An interesting thing worth noting that we just saw from
踏み台消えちゃった
Justin and BJW is
いやー
you can
これは
actually
トップに
abuse,
不運が
the little invulnerability period you get whenever you pick up an enemy. You'll probably see it from Sven here as well. As Luigi, or really as any enemy, when
と
you're
そして
picking up an
左
item
上
that
は
gets some frames
技を
of
成功させてい
vulnerability,
ってますね
you benefit from it more as a character like Peach or
しっかり
Luigi who pick up items
移動
very
していけ
slowly.
ば
But during that whole time, you're invulnerable. So if you want to pick up a block while Birdo's firing at you, you can just wait until the shot is just about to hit you, and then pick up the block, and you're invulnerable as the shot
さあ
goes
抜い
through
て
you.
しまいま
makes
し
a
た
lot of the Birdo fights way
左
easier.
上がトップになりました
So this sequence break
さて
actually
まさか
has
の
the
今まで入り口だと思われてた
benefit of
敵
being
が
able to have the key already spawned even before you defeat
敵になるんですね
Birdo, which
そして
allows
最
you
終
to
ボスです
basically
ね
skip it entirely.
せっかく攻撃できるのがこういう風に消されてしまうのでしっかりと
Yeah, so in this game we're fighting Wart. I think you guys are mostly familiar with this.
マリオコレクションとかと
Interesting
ここの
things to
BGM は
note
もっとちょっと
are
お
that,
どろおどろしくな
as
って
long
て
as
い
these
い感
runners
じで
don't
す
die
ね
in this stage, you can actually guarantee what pattern you get off of the vegetable machine. So it starts spawning in the middle, the next one spawns on the right, then in the
さあ
middle,
ラ
then
ス
on
ボ
the
ス
left, and back
2
and
画
forth
面
in that
並んで
way.
ますね
If they were to die and have
あ
to
で
come
も
back into the stage,
左
you
上が
actually
順
get the
調なの
same
で
pattern, but you
やは
just
り
don't
先
know
に
where
撃
it's
破
going to start from.
あと
With
今
that, we have
下切りしましたね
BJW Super Mario Brothers 2 US first.
ちゃんと左下もちゃんと成功させてます
That
ね
really speaks to BJW's
鍵
skill
破
in
き
this
を
game. I mean,
天井抜け
with
か
攻め
the
ましたね
previous run, we had Cosmic finishing up SMD1 last, and just in that time, BJW was able to pull his team into the first, and we just now have Justifin finishing up Super
さ
Mario
あ
Bros. 2 US.
左上が先に
Both of
入れ
these
替わり
runners
ます
right around
ね
a
次は
24-minute
何の作品に
time.
なるの
Really
かな
solid work.
やはり2かな
Yeah, Sven really not too far behind either.
No,
It's
absolutely
been a
not.
really tight race all along. No major mistakes that have put any team really far out of it. I think we're within about a minute or minute and a
あ
half.
ー左ちょっと惜しかったな今の
Death on Wart there.
The fight against Wart can be extremely
これピッ
challenging.
ト作業もね
But it was right at the
入れ
beginning
替わり
of
の
the
作
fight,
業
which means it
割と
really
大
did
事で
lose
すねこ
more
れ
than
は
probably 10 seconds.
So with
さあ
Sven
ス
getting
ーパー
that
マリ
first
オ
vegetable out of the left
3
side,
で
3です す
he
ね
now instantly knows what
て
his
か
pattern
2
is
は
going to be.
や
No
らないのかな
problems.
3を先にやっちゃうっていうことは2はないのかなちょっとわからないですね
And Aweglib kicking off SMB3 over here.
All right, right, so in Super Mario Brothers 3, we have had power-ups so far, but at this point, we're going to have to deal with a different kind of element, and that is items. We're going to be using some items to be skipping some stages throughout the game.
USA さんって感じです
Something we're
ね。
going to be talking about throughout the game.
できて
You
ない
don't
か
want
ら
to。grab
でも
three
5
of
作やるって
any
言ってた
item
けど。
throughout the game. We want to have differences because you will lose time if you get 3 stars or 3 fire flowers. 3 mushrooms isn't really that big of a deal.
まあで
We
も
will
3
have
はちょ
also
っと
the
長い
speed
の
meter
で。
as well.
さあ
Bit
左
of
下
a
も終わり
scary
ましたね。
fight to warp, but Sven pulls it off. Sub 26. This would get
1
raised
ステー
still
ジ差がちょ
definitely
っとつき
close.
ましたが、まあまだ誤差範囲ですね。
There we go. And with that, we just ended up Super Mario Brothers 2 US by Sven.
まあスーパーマリオ1の時の花火みたいに3だと同じカードが3枚揃っちゃうと落ちた。
Management of P speed is extremely challenging.
This is the game based off the movie The Wizard.
残機がね
That's the one.
増えちゃうのでその演出が
So
長
right
い。
here, what's going to happen is we're actually not going to fight Boom Boom in this fortress. We're going to be taking the whistle.
おっと抜いていくかこれは。
I know. But this whistle is actually going to skip. This whistle is going to skip this part of the stage. It comes with
あ
a
と
little bit
冬
of cost.
勝利しましたね今。
The whistle is normally what you would use to warp.
ですね、これで
The whistle is
ちゃう
going to stay in your
ワープあり
inventory.
これ。
Better not mash the
ワープ
buttons,
レースリ
otherwise
レー
it's
って
going
か
to be
あでも
some
これ
extra
あそうかそう
time. You don't
か
want to
あ
do
れ
that
あれ
in a
か
warpless
しなきゃ
race.
いいのか。
そうですそうです。
We call it no tooting.
あちゃんと倒してますねブンブンを。
I think it's important to note that my boy Pooh has the freshest
左
hat
上倒し
collection
ま
of
し
any
た
of the
ねというの
runners.
も、
まあ
やっぱり
尻尾マリオになれなかったから
途中で死んでしまったので、あれが
Big difference for this race.
使えなかったんですね。
He actually had to bring an
あれが
extra
使えなかった
suitcase
の
just
で、
filled
で、あ
with
とここは
hats.
もうミスなく、はい、ちょっと外していきますね。
So the first of many Hammer Brothers. Hammer Brothers can cause a ton of RNG in SMB3. We also have the Overworld, which wasn't an element in the other 2 games. Those Hammer Brothers are going to cause some complications as to which items they carry, where do they
さあ
head.
こういう 道
What I
中
wanna
の
know,
ブロ
we'll
ス
talk
倒
about
し
that
て
in
手に
World
入
2
るアイ
coming
テム
up
を
is
使っ
whether or
てい
not any
く
of
場
these
面
players
があ
are
るん
going
で
to
しょう
get
か。
early hammer, and if so, why did
あ、星
chose
ス
to
タ
do
ー
that
と
during
か
a
だ
marathon
ったら、
versus
ス
not?
ターとか無限飛行とかは多分
But the
ちょ
hammer
くちょ
will
くショー
allow
トカ
them
ットが
if they
使ってい
access
く
it
と
early
は
in World 2 to
思い
skip
ます
もう
the
全
World
ステー
2
ジ
early
通る
at
の
the
で
cost
アイ
of
テム
having
は
to do an
結構
extra
手に入る
fortress
はず
in
なの
World
で。
4.
So Skyanoff, this is the first game that we have here in this race that involves P speed. Do you want to talk about kind of the difficulty of maintaining P speed and how that
でメン
affects
セ
the
レ
speed
クト
run
も
versus the
割
other ones we've
と
watched
そ
so far?
のなんていうんですかね、
Yeah, so this game
オ
is the first
ートスクロール面は
implemented
避け
P speed. You
て
have to build up a certain amount of run speed
というの
before
も、
you
まあ、
get the
最短ステ
opportunity to
ージ、
run
基本的には
at
最
your
短
full
で、
うん
ある程度、
最短ステージ
The
蹴
difficulty
れるの
here
か
is
下げていく
that
という感じですね。
this game punishes you in certain ways, such as movement
あ、
back
うまい
and
ですね、
forth,
ちゃんと。
running
やり下決めていき
あージゲ
ました。
ム
Any
の雲
moment that
か。
Mario's feet aren't on the ground, you're probably being punished against. You're being punished with your P speed, P meter dropping. These runners are all really used to this, and in general,
わかんないですね、
the
じゃあ
thing
順
is
番は。
that just looking at the P meter usually isn't enough to tell the full story.
へー
A competent runner
あ
can
の
usually sort of
なんだっけ
internalize
滑り
how
台
far
で
off
ネ
they
ットを
are
倒さないで当たり
with
抜けしていきましたね。その方が
Losing
早い
P
のか
speed or
な。
getting hit can definitely
も
throw
し
off
く
a
は
level,
後々でちょっと
that,
捨てないとい
you
け
know, it
ない
looks so
感
easy
じ
when you
か
have
な
your。P speed and do it perfectly, but just the littlest of mistakes can throw off a level. So
左下全部違うキャラになり
Also, I
ま
think
した
this
ね、
game
左
needs
下
more
全
auto
部。
scrollers. What do you think?
No.
Worth noting that
で、右下の方
Kirua
の
is
最
the
速
current
倒
world
して
record
と。
holder for this category with an incredible time. But
も
both
ちろん
of
取る
these
ときはジャン
runners,
プで。
Aweglib and grandpoobear, have both improved their PBs quite recently. And actually have really, really great times. This is
さあ
this is
一
going
面
to
終わ
not
っちゃいま
just
し
be
た
a
ね。
close match, I think,
ちょうど
but it's
1
also
ス
going
テ
to be really
ージ
impressive.
1.2
It's
ステ
one
ージ
thing
ぐ
to
らいの
have
差
a
か
bunch of people
な。
who are playing at a 55 or a 58-minute time being all matched, but
definitely.
being able to see them play at this level and play this competently or consistently is going to
Kirua
be.
is around a 51-minute time, I believe.
Yeah,
Bear's
he's got
at
a
a 53,
52, I think.
which is just really amazing.
So right here, the urge to kind of jump and grab the wand is strong, but here you actually want to stay
まあ
at
2
the
の
bottom
ス
of
テー
the
ジまでは多
screen
分
and
みん
just
な
pick
見
up the
覚え
wand as it
があるん
falls
じ
to
ゃな
you
い
because it does
い
save
ます
time
ね。多分
if you're
3とか4
falling
とか
even further if you jump to get the wand.
Toad's
特に
animation.
3以降はあんまり見ないかな。最速クリアしてると。
4面の巨大化ステージは結構好きだったんですけどね。
ですね。
We have a
逆にちっちゃいのもあるんですけ
$5,000
ど。
donation
Wow!
ああ、もうすぐそうやって大きい額が。
5000兆ドルが
Gold
5000ドルが
saying
入りま
such
し
an amazing event GDQ is with so many incredible
た。あ
people
おは
running.
ようおはようございます。
Shout outs to my favorite runner, Pooh. Save the
Absolutely.
Toadstool, save the princess, save the kingdom, and as always, save the animals, Go
セーブ
team
キルが
Birdo
2000ドル差ですね。
ああ、これは入れ替わっちゃう可能性が。
ちなみに今キルが今まで上だったんでセーブが上回ってますね。
上回ってますか。あ
はい
あ、しかも2000ドル差をつけたってことは、7、8000ドルまくったって感じですね。
そうですね。
You might think that the preferred power up for a game like this would be
あ、ちゃんと
leap.
今ヒットジャンプで
Honestly,
ワ
even
ンタ
just
ンキルです
playing
ね。
this
ちゃん
game,
と左下もちょっと
casually,
いい感じ
you
に詰めてき
get
たか
quite
な。
the impression that the leaf is quite a bit slower. Using the raccoon tail is slower for movement, and that's exactly what you're going to see throughout the course of this run. There's going to be a few stages where runners will probably be using their P-wing if for no other reason than just the access,
ですよね。
easy
ワーパリだ
access
と
to a leaf when they need it. But
多
in
分
general,
隠しの
most
あ
of these
の
runners
ハ
are going to be
ー
sticking
ト
to
の
either
ところ
Small
と
Mario
さ
or
っき
Fire
の
Mario,
砦の
depending
笛
on what
で
stage they're in.
多分
And that's going to be kind of an important thing to note. This game would be quite a lot easier if they were able to use their leaf, but they just won't.
Absolutely. Sky, why don't you talk about some of the other items that you can pick up that are useful for the game? You mentioned the hammer. What else is there in this game that kind of just makes a difference in the speed?
6のステージの
Yeah,
雪
we're
の
not
ス
gonna
テ
see
ー
the
ジの
players
あ
use
の
the
フ
tail
ィール
back,
ド、
however,
ま
there is an
待
item
機マ
called
ッ
the
プの
P-wing. The P-wing
音
is
楽
gonna
と
be
か
used
好き
to
なんです
break
け
a
ど
couple
ね、
levels,
聞いたことはあ
such
ん
as
まり。
6-9. There's also
でも
the
ハン
Doom
マーマ
Spot,
リオ
which
は
is
取ら
what
ない
you
で
use
しょう
to
ね。
skip entire stages.
あー
The
です
one
ね。
drawback
あれ遅そうですもん
and
ね。
I will have to remind players of this, unfortunately, is
たぬきマリ
if
オ
you
は取
die
る
in
で
a
しょうけど。
stage after you've used a
あとは
cloud,
無限ジャンプ
you,
の
that
タ
will
ヌキが
negate
どっ
what
か
has
で使う。
happened.
もしかした
So
ら
if
使
you
われ
die
る
in
と手に入ったらですけ
3-8, you will
ど。
go back to 3-4 because that is what the worthless route uses.
Yeah, so if you are using the cloud to skip an auto scroller and then you die in the next level, you're going to end
こ
up
の
having
太陽が追っかけてくるシーンは結構怖かったけどな。
ね、めちゃくちゃ
What even
怒っ
happened
てますから
there?
ね。なぜか知らないですけど。
We're also going to see
カエルはどうでしょうね。水中ステージだけカエルを生かすってことはあるかもしれないですね。わかんないです。
そうそう、手に入るかどうかがちょっと怖いですね。
Wow, that was a. Honestly, I wouldn't have even known what to do in that circumstance. That was amazing that Glib was able to recover that. That was
Absolutely.
amazing. Honestly. He got really unlucky with the corner clip in the situation, and I think either panic or really just not wanting to lose his fire flower at the time just took out both of the Koopas, so he had to go back for another one.
Yeah, it's definitely underrated having the ability to react in that way to something that's very unusual to happen in your speed run versus
あ、クッパ
you have
瞬殺でき
general
るから
mistakes
取る
that
みたい
happen
な。
that you have backup
お
strats
ー
for, but to just know a game well enough to
面白
react
そう。
immediately on what to do. And unfortunately, getting some bad luck with the Hammer Brother, just going right on top of him there.
I think bad luck's a little bit of an understatement, John Carlos. So what Glib's going to do here is use the hammer. We're actually going to skip the desert stage and world stage 5, and he's going to have to do the fortress in world 4. So we're going to get to see a stage in Worthless we normally will not get to see. So that's kind of exciting.
まあ7面バグはどうなんですかね、使うんですかね。でもノーワープだったら多分8面クリアするんで多分普通に使わないと思いますね。
We have a $500 donation from Raz.
初めて7面のあのバグを見た時はちょっと壮絶っていうかドン引きしましたけどね。
I'm getting a sense a lot of people like grandpoobear.
さあ、
Yeah, one thing
左上と
that you're
右
probably
上
going to see
が
a lot of, and you
あ
may
んま
not
り
notice
差が
it,
な
it
くな
can
っ
be
て
very
ます
subtle
ね。
at times. But if you run at full speed with full P meter
ほぼ同
into the end
まあ
of
ちょ
the
っと
stage,
若
you
干
pretty much
右が
always
早い
are
ですけど
guaranteed
差
to
が
get the
詰まっ
same
てる
card.
気が
You're
しま
always
す。
going to get the star card.
左はちょっと
Which,
やっ
if
ぱ
you're
り
just
途中
playing
の
this
ワン
game
ミ
for
ス
fun, it's
分が
fine. That's 5
その分
lives
若
every
干
time you
開い
get
てる
3
という
star
感じ
cards, so
で
that really adds up. But you will see them try to subtly lose a little bit of
ち
speed
ょっと
usually
左下は2
toward
ステージ
the end
分
of
で
the
すかね
stage
開
just
い
to
たので
offset what
辛い
card
か
they're
な
going to get because they desperately want to avoid getting 3 of the same
まあ
card.
どっちにしろマリオはミスがなければ差はつまらないゲームですもんね。
Shoots up fireworks.
特にバグなしだとそうですもんね。
So you're saying all of these runners aren't patriotic? It's not just
You got me
fireworks,
on
it's a
that one.
star.
You got me pretty good there.
As if you don't have enough to worry about in this game, so there's another thing that's special to this game. The Hammer Brothers can turn into coin ships.
まあ言ってもね、
While that
8
sounds
面
like
は
that's
ほぼ
fun,
こういう
these
強
coin
制
ships
ス
are
クロール
actually
面ばっかりなんで
auto-scrollers. You don't want more auto-scrollers
ミ
in
スを
this
どれ
one.
か
We
が
have
ミス
enough
すれば
auto-scrollers
チャンス
in
があ
this
る
run.
って感じ
So
け
what's
ど
going to happen is we need to make sure these players do not have any multiples of 11 when in the worlds 1, 3, 5, and 6.
Now, I do want to point out that while this game has a ton of room for differences in strats, and we've been fortunate to see almost every game so far, all of these runners using considerably different strats.
反射したメットに当たらずに抜けていきましたね。
You're going to see these runners choosing basically the same route. It's pretty set in stone, and there's not a lot of
まあ被弾エフェクトとかでもちょっとでも減らせるところを詰めていかなければ。
あれランダムなんですよね、手が。
And that's going to be really
出たり
exciting
出なかったり。
because a lot of times you'll see warpless runners pick up the hammer suit but save it until Bowser. But grandpoobear is actually going to activate it a lot earlier and use
あとはあれですかね、最短行くとブロスが来る来ないも
There's obviously a backup option
ランダム要素な
それも
のかな。
ちょっとありますね。
It's not the end of the run. He can grab a fire flower toward the end, and that's not a problem. But the other two runners are going to prefer the more common and conventional Fire Mario strats. grandpoobear is going to be the one that's really going to differ here, and it's going to be exciting to see that.
みんな同じようなその出現の仕方してたら調整できるんでしょうね。多分
You can choose which stages you want to skip, and while some of them are pretty obvious choices which ones you would want to skip, there are a few options you can have throughout the run. We're going to see a few of these runners pick different stages throughout, and some of those options are for time saving, and some of those options are for safety. And it's going to be interesting to see which stages we see from which runners.
Absolutely.
外れちゃいましたね。
Looking forward to seeing grandpoobear and his ultimate swag of hammer suit.
さあ、
ここで左が
左側が成功していく感じですね、これは。
Very
で、
nice
ファイヤーマリオなん
but
で
it's、very difficult to not
詰めま
reach
し
the
たね、
water
これ
there.
は。
Well done.
ね
詰めたというよりかは、ちょっと追いついた。
Now we're going to see a very iconic enemy in this next stage 3-3. This is Boss Bass. And what happens is it doesn't matter how many power-ups you have. If that fish
さあ
gets
左
you,
も
you're
2
dead.
もでワールド2が終わったのでやっとここで3ですね。
We have a $20 donation from Cold Trooper that says, "Been waiting all week to donate during the Super Mario race. Go Team Resnar."
やっぱりファイヤーマリオがここで解けちゃうのはもったいないね。
I mean, wrong team, but still nice to get the money.
I would have to
I
respectfully
do
disagree.
appreciate the donation. Kirua with just great movement.
All right, so
avoiding
what
that
Oh.
fish.
Kirua is going there for a frame
ちょっと
perfect
右は遭
input
遇してしまっ
there.
たよう
You
で
can
す
actually
ね。
go through the third door, and if you press up on the first frame after going through the door, it takes you to the boom boom fight correctly. It's, you know, whether it's
ハ
an
ンマーはいらないんだよ
oversight, a
な。
glitch, an Easter egg, whatever you want to call it,
岩は
it's
壊さ
very
ないし
difficult
な。
to pull off. And I think all three runners
右も
have
最
agreed
速
to
で
go
倒
for
し
it
ま
at
した
least
ね。
once.
I think it loses like 7 seconds to go for
跳ね
this.
飛んで跳ねたら死んでたみたい
Definitely loses time. I will tell you that,
Yeah.
that what I'm seeing so far has not saved time.
Not a fan of the hammer
いやで
brother
も
placement
左
on
も
either
フージャン
of
プ
the
う
two
まい。
players.
Wow, that was an
Good team,
amazing
Boom Boom.
stage by
Great stage
grandpoobear.
by
That was
Pooh.
incredible. As Sky mentioned earlier, it's very hard to stay out of the water. That strat's pretty difficult to pull off, and he nailed it.
Yeah, that level is a really good example of how keeping your P speed and going perfectly, the littlest thing can knock you off that. And especially in that level with the giant fish just waiting to swallow
お
you
右
up.
上は
Stakes
出
are
て
even
きたドア
higher.
にすぐ入るこ
All
と
right,
でショ
so
ート
Kirua
カットす
finally
る
got
技
his
に
fire
挑
flower
戦
back.
して
I
失
just want
敗
to。point out that he's been playing at this level this whole time without fire flower. A
こ
lot
こ
of
し
the
か多分
strats
左
in
の
this
タイミン
game
グですけど、
are based around having your fire
ちょ
flower.
っとここでファイヤー回収でですけど、
Ooh, that was close, but the hammer brother did stick around so Kirua can get to that. You do not want what we call a runaway hammer brother. You do not want them to pass by 3-6. Why? 3-6 is an auto scroller. You do not want to touch that stage.
さあブロスに遭遇した分
Yeah, and each
これ
time
並
that
び
you
ました
beat
か
a
ね。
stage or fight a hammer brother,
あ、でも
the
当たっ
bridge
ちゃうのか。
position swaps. And you very much don't want to end up in a situation in which you finally encounter 3-6, but the bridges are not set up for you to be able to skip 3-6 to go directly toward 3-8.
For those watching that might not know much about playing this game, can you explain kind of the hammer
左
brother
はファイヤー
RNG
マリオ
that
がある
happens
の
on the
で、
map?
Yeah, so every time you exit a stage or beat an overworld enemy, they have the opportunity to move, and there are certain rules about how far they're going to move or where they might be willing to stop. But in general,
ファイヤーマリオ
it can make
から
a
は
pretty significant difference
デカマリオになるみたい
exactly
ですね。
how far a hammer brother moves.
そういう
In
仕様
fact,
み
you
たい
know,
です。
there are records for this game that are optimized
というより
based
も
on too
3
much
自
hammer
体
brother
が
movement can
デカマリオ
end the
のままだ
run,
ったと思います
basically.
Absolutely.
もともとそう国内版だろうが海外版だろうがそういうことなんですかね。
そうですね。というよりも多分
And if that hammer goes in the wrong direction and ends
そう
up
口
in
火
a
になる
section
の
of
は
the
1と
overworld
2
map
です。
that
日
you
本
don't
版でいう
want to
1
go
と
to,
2だけですね。
that can be real trouble.
Absolutely.
It basically would force you to play an extra level that you really don't want to play.
あ、国内版は即チビ。マジ？
そうですね。私ファミコン版。
海外版と日本のマリオコレクションだけがこの仕様なんですね。
海外版の方が難しいイメージしかなかったんですけど、国内の方が難しい、珍しいケースですね。
No swag jump for Glib.
さあ、なかなか差が変わらないですね、やはり。
$1,000. Dang, I don't think we have enough hype for Team Birdo. Good luck, Pooh. You got this. I am required to make a marble meme, so marbles.
Marbles. Everybody's making a lot of sense to me right now.
そうですね。寄付金額がなんかこうインフレを起こしてますな。
それがどこにドネートされたかは
この後のまあスーパーメトロイドのねルートに影響する。勝った方のそのドネートに合わせたそのルートで行きますっていう。
Right here we've got Glib entering the windy fight, Aweglib.
So teams Reznor and Boom Boom still within about 20 seconds of each other.
今1ドルいくらだ ?112 円とか3円ぐらいかな。
Excellent. So Kirua is heading into World 4. World 4 notable because of all the large enemies in the stage. This is sort of like a Mario has shrunk down world.
Yeah, such a cool concept when you play this as a kid.
Now it is important to note that Team Boom Boom is a bit more in the lead right now than they appear to be, because remember, Aweglib did use his hammer during World 2.
100万ドル、まあ5、60万の人は言いましたからね、すでに。
So in this world, Hammer Brother RNG can make somewhat of a difference. You don't necessarily need to get all of the Hammer Brothers.
さあ4面ですね、この巨大な
巨大ステージ
みんな大好き。
ただしパックフラワーは通常サイズですね。
そうですね。この面に出てくる多分プレイヤーさんはもうどっちももうどっちでも来いっていう感じでしょうか。この巨大ブロスが着地すると地震が起きるってひるんじゃうんですよね。
普通に出てくるやつ大きいのに火を吐くやつだけを普通のサイズっていうのも。
Kirua showing that he's a little bit a step above when it comes to movement and lat level. You can just really see what it means to be world record holder there.
That is the stage where you first learn how to use speed, though, if you're first starting to learn how to speedrun this game. 4-3 is a great example of the level you're supposed to learn in.
So you saw there Kirua use his hammer to skip having to fight one of the fours.
このジュゲムの雲は使っていくのかな。これはまあ当然普通に入手したアイテムだから使ってもいいとは思うんですけど、使うとしたらどこなんだって。
So he can get on top of the lac 2 and skip pretty much half of the stage. I mean, the stage is
ちょっ
more
とそ
or
れも
less
楽し
done
みな
now.
んですね。
Double lac 2.
私は8の1とかの暗闇ステージとかが苦手だったので、無限ジャンプとか使って。ここは天井がないのでひたすら飛んでいけばクリアできるので。
使います。どこで使うんだろう。一番なんか飛ばされやすいステージってどこだろう。ワールドさんで雲使ってた。あ、見逃してた。
普通になんか普通のようにクリアしてたので、もう。
He knew what he had gotten from the first Hammer Brother, and he decided that he didn't need what the rest of them were holding.
6面と7面の方法。じゃあ皆さん使う面は一緒なのかな、決まってルートとして決まってるんであれば。
We have a $200 donation from Anonymous that says Go Team Reznor.
I'm not hearing a lot of donations for Team Boom Boom. I'm assuming that people are holding out for the underdogs.
焼き殺しましたね。ブンブン。
I heard their host, like, they were just weren't a fan of the host. The commentator.
Okay, yeah, all right. I can take the criticism.
They said you were too tall. That was weird.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. Pooh doing the Lakitu jump there as well.
Now there is an item that Glib could have used here. You actually have that music box. That can be used to skip some Hammer Brothers and some levels later on in World 7, but it's best to use that on the bottom of World 5, so much quicker to kill the Sledge Brother than the two Hammer Brothers.
Great movement by Glib through this stage. This is it's kind of interesting if you watch a lot of Super Mario Brothers versus this game. In Super Mario Brothers, your fireballs move just barely faster than Mario does, which means if you fire a fireball, it always conveniently stays right out in front of you. Whereas in this game, Mario runs considerably faster than his fireballs. So sometimes you'll see the way that they fire, their patterns are firing right as they're about to hit an enemy, so that it's that brief moment where the fireball does actually get to be in front of them. Otherwise, they just pass it by.
なんか左上と左下が同じ砦に入っていましたね。ちょっと差が縮まったかなこれで。
逆に左上は何があったんだ。
Alright, so since we're literally on the longest level of the relay, or up there at least, that would be a good time for donations.
同じですね。
No problem. First, we have a $20 donation from Calico that says, "Hey guys, never gotten to watch a GDQ event live before. Let alone donate. Figured I'd do so during one of my favorite game series that was among my first gamer. Go Team Boom Boom."
縮まりましたねこれで。
I also got
Lots of people have judgment
I
issues.
also got a $100 donation from Aweglib.
What?
What? How does this happen? Greetings from the World 4 airship. Didn't have much else to do right now, so I figured I'd get my donation in. Thank you so much to all my fellow runners and to everyone who helped me put this amazing relay together. It's been an honor and a privilege to work with you all and to help DWB with all the great work they do. Team Restream.
Aweglib not only able to keep his own in this speed game, but also able to donate money at the same time. Pretty impressive.
I didn't even see him pull out his phone. It's brilliant.
Must be Google Glass or something.
Probably.
Took a selfie in this stage last year.
Okay, Google. Donate $100 to Games Done Quick.
Well, maybe not Google, but I know the Yeti donated $5,000.
Woo!
Saying, hey all, Yeti Glenn here. Gotta show my love for Team Birdo. But also, shout outs to Team Boom Boom. My daughter Penny is rooting for you. She even made her own sign. After watching these events since 2012, it's so special to be able to share it with my daughter. Put this donation towards killing the animals, only to balance the race and the Fuzzy Pickles run.
Being a fan of Team Boom
会
Boom
社が
and
寄付
Team
して
Birdo is
そ
kind of
の
like being a Red
税
Sox
金
fan
対
and
策
a
に
Yankees
寄付して
fan.
るとしか思え
I
ない
don't think it's acceptable. I don't know. I think you got to pick a lane there.
もはや個人ではない可能
So
性
you saw right at the beginning.
50万とかポンと出る数字じゃないですからね。
You saw right at the beginning of World 5
Hey,
that
who it's
Kirua
got
went
that?
ahead and used his whistle. You know, that may have seemed strange. And in a typical warpless run, obviously you would never do that. But while it's extremely detrimental to use your
もち
whistle
3
at
画
the
面なん
wrong
で
time,
ちょっと全部は見れないですね、さすがに。
at the beginning of World 5, it's convenient to just get it out of your inventory. So
なんか使お
Kirua
うと
made the educated decision
なんで
that
あ
he's
あ
smart
じゃあ使ったんですよ
person
ね
to do, which is to go ahead
誰
and
だろう
get
使っ
that
たの
whistle out
っ
of
てこと
their
は右上
inventory.
か
最速だと
Looking
有
at
ですけ
both
ど。
Aweglib and grandpoobear here.
Yeah. I don't like how you're looking at him.
That's fine.
そうですね左は並んじゃ
We
っ
have
て
a
ますね
$150 donation from Loser141 that says, "Let's go Team Resnor. Let's save those frames, kill those animals, and speedrun raising 1 million. Money to runner's choice."
まあそのアイテムを使ったロスを考えても2ステージ分差がついてますから。すごいな。
なるほど さあどうなるかこれ
This
が。
audience is very diverse.
あ、ちょっとどいてくれたな。
Now, Aweglib already has 2 stars. Better be careful not get a 3rd one. We don't want to see a fresh 5 up.
Glib, I think you could use 5 more lives. Go ahead and get that star if you don't mind.
So you see Kirua here going through the tower. This tower is used in World 5 to connect the ground level
ああわざ
to
と
the
使
sky
っ
level.
て
This is,
アイテム
sky
誤
world
爆
as it
の
is. So
ああなるほど。
he has to go through this tower forward if he wants to.
まあワープしなければ使ってもいい。笛を使っちゃいけないってわけじゃないですからね。
If you want to, but why would you do that?
Foos Fam donates
Mata
$1,000.
また1000ドルが入ってましたね。
Saying Team Birdo and Pooh Nation represent.
Pooh Nation.
Hammer Suit Kill, let's do this, brother. Great event as always and a great cause.
まあメトロイド関係なんじゃないでしょうか。やはり。もうファイナルファンタジーの名前どうのみたいなその今話はなかったんで。
また今度はキルが1000ドル差つきましたね。
毎年そんな感じらしいですね。
Put a couple Hammer Brothers to sleep.
しかも 100%、0% とかじゃなくて、道中に出てくる動物を生かすか。
Now, do
you want to speak to the items you get at the end of the fighting the Hammer Brothers? Are those randomized?
No.
So
No.
they have a set.
Yeah,
knowledge
you
of
can
which ones
you can
they are.
spot which one's on which world as long as you can see them at the beginning. You know which one's holding which, I believe.
100%。
But
うん。
you know, it's very easy in the
100%
fray
この
to
ロー
lose
パーセン
track
トか
of which one's
100%
which,
っていうのもその
especially if they pass one another.
関
for
係あるんですね。
instance.
多分
Absolutely.
だから「おわ」って書いてあるんですね。じゃあどっちの選択肢になることやら。
Some of the levels in World 5, it's very difficult to get P speed during them, and it's very difficult to not fall.
師匠の命の選択。
セーブオアキルですからね。
We still don't have a death up to this point in the Mario 3 race from any of the runners, which is just really kind of shocking.
So Kirua losing his fire flower there is going to cost him just a few seconds just on the boom boom kill, but honestly, nothing to be worried about.
How did Mario get up to these clouds?
なるほど。
Using the tower?
Yeah,
去年はもうちょっと
Ah.
最後の方だったんですかね。
All right, Hammer Brothers in
迂回するかどう
perfect
かで、
position
そう
for
ですね、
Aweglib.
2000万近く。
All that Hammer Brothers carrying is a
抜きます
music box
ね。
again, which he won't need another one.
Pooh losing
ここで
5
炎を
flower
落として
dead.
しまう。
Unfortunate.
All right, Jugum Cloud being used again to skip 5-9, which is actually a diagonal auto scroller. Haven't seen anything quite like that in other games, but unfortunately we won't get a chance to see that.
Skybell's rooting for auto scrollers over here.
known lover of auto scrollers.
It's on the record.
We have a $500 donation from B. Diddy Tampa saying, as always, thank you to everyone involved. Good luck to all the runners. Cheers.
なるほど。
And go
雲使用ですね。
Team
じゃあみんな同じところ
Reznor.
で雲使用しますかね。ワールド5ですね。使うのは。3と 5?
They wouldn't even be my third favorite team.
Wow, thanks, John.
Getting very salty here, it sounds like.
この左上が行ってる面をクリアしたら雲使う感じですかね。
Very nice. 5-8 is one of the toughest stages to keep P speed throughout. Aweglib nails it.
あ、雲使いまし
So
た
this is
ね。
Roy. Roy
Stage
has an
skip
earthquake
ですね。
mechanism, which you don't want to be on the ground when Roy lands. Otherwise, it's very easy to get comboed
逆に
and
この
killed
9の
even
ステージがやっぱ
with
り時
Fire
間かかる
Flower.
ってことなんですかね。
これのルールは、まあ、笛を使ってワープしないっていうルールですね。 あとはその笛以外にもその
We have a $20
例え
donation
ば
from Muddy Waters that says,
土
"Love me
管
some author blues
隠し
and
土管に入
sky
って
bills."
いきなり
Ouch!
4の1とかに飛ぶのはダメっていう
You're okay though. Like,
ちゃんと1面ずつクリアしていきましょうっていう
$10 donation from author blue with no S that says singular author blue here. Donating for Team
ただこ
Birdo
の
because
ジュゲ
I
ムの
want
雲
to
み
see
た
my
いに
handsome
そ
imposter
の
author blues
1ステ
play
ー
a
ジを
bad
飛ばす
game
みた
of
いなのは
John
ある
Carl's choice.
It's good, man.
it's good to have friends.
I'm definitely a bigger fan of Author Blue than Author Blues. I'm going to put that out there.
Makes sense, fewer letters.
Yeah. A lot easier to spell.
I think this airship needs more cannons.
Worth noting, not worth as many points in Scrabble though.
Ooh. That double word score really just skyrocketing.
So on Kirua's side, at the beginning of World 6, we're using the hammer gun to skip 3 stages this time.
お
See Kirua using
お
his iframes to be able to get over that spike,
当たり
but
抜
not
けしてい
having to wait
く
for the platform to scroll all the way over there.
He's
Now
going to be going
gonna grab
for
a
a star
yeah.
kill, yeah. He's going to be trying to keep this star all the way to the boom boom fight. Finish him
さあ
off
ブンブ
instantly.
ンはスターで倒し
Enjoy
ます
your upside down orb. Orb!
How much of a temptation is it to just goof around when you're in these auto scrollers?
All of the temptation.
Yeah. You can lose runs to that. You got to be careful. Keeping your focus through auto scrollers like this is actually really difficult to do.
スイッチ踏むのもうまいなあ
So
ワール
even
ド
though he lost a little
6
bit
は
of
ハン
speed
マー
there, that
使
was
うところあ
actually
る
very fortunate for
マジっす
Kirua.
か
Those the spinning platforms there have
じゃあ
a
これは
tendency
注
to
目
grab
で
a
すね
hold of you
どこ
and
だろ
sort of throw you straight down to the pit. I have to imagine that's specifically what they were
いや
designed
ブ
for.
ロスが
Oh,
動
nice
きすぎなんだ
runaway.
が
Oh my god. Well, enjoy that.
あるあるですよねこれも
同じ方向に
Yeah,
入ってる
as
とどうして
mentioned
も
before,
ガサガサ
you know, Hammer Brothers have very specific rules about where they can move, where they can stop, and how far they want to move. And that was one of those situations where every single time the Hammer Brother tried to stop, he decided to just keep going.
左上もゴリ押しで
Nice
So,
iframe boost for Aweglib as well.
右上は裏口から出ましたね
We have a $200 donation from Amy Star that says, "I've always meant to give Doctors Without Borders money when I had
で
some,
スターを
and now I
維
do."
持してボーンと
Go Team
あ
Boom
こ
Boom.
こで10ゲームが来る
Team Boom Boom gaining some bandwagon fans here in the audience. Just kidding, guys. I love you.
All right, using the raccoon tail in order to fly through large portions of this castle or fort can save quite a lot of time, and Kirua pulled it off expertly.
Pooh going for the star kill on Boom Boom. Runners within about a minute and a half of each other, so still really close in
Still
this overall
extremely
race.
close.
If you just
さあ
tuned in, we're
同じ
still
砦だけど違う砦ですね
got
もう
two and a
一
half
面
games
違う
left
砦
and
です
really
ね
no clear outcome yet.
So right here, World 6-5 is actually one of the most unique levels in all of Super Mario Bros. 3 because the exit of this is
葉っぱ使ってますね
actually
同じところでやっぱ
you
り
need a tail to do this. P-Wings preferred, so you don't have to gather at P-speed and go through the pipes.
Lots of runners being frustrated with the Hammer Brother patterns
Oh.
here.
All right,
何になった
hardest
今
level coming up here on
あまた
Kirura's side. I think
葉っぱか
he's gonna need
葉
some
っぱ
serious
使いま
help.
したね2回
あこれ
使っ
P マリオか
All right, good. Awesome level.
P マリオ
That
では
was
ない
impressive.
普通の葉っぱか
Holding right for that long.
Good work, bud.
てどっちも P マリオですねこれ
P 羽
このステージ
ですか
はい
So you may think that that hit was accidental, but he really just wants to burn that leaf as early as possible, as I mentioned before.
で
Wow,
左下ちゃっか
playing
り
with
実
fire
は
there.
ちびマリオでブロス倒しきってるので実はすごい
You really only want the
だったんですね
raccoon tail when it is needed and
これで
beneficial.
雲
If
が
not,
1個
it's going to slow you
手
down.
に入った
So
ので
taking the damage there is
できる
intentional.
かなでもここ羽でさよならと
I always love the crouched flying in this level.
いやー右上ミスしないな
grandpoobear pulling off a wonderful fort as well. This fort can be very difficult to pull off with the tail, but
Absolutely.
handled it no problem.
Oh, look, it's another auto scroller. Woo!
Heard you like auto scrollers.
Shout outs to flying boats.
We have a $200 donation from the 5 o'clock shadow that says, because I attended grad school with Author Blues, gotta go with some Team Boom Boom. Let's get some Team Boom Boom hype.
So this person knows you personally and is rooting
Lord
for your
Kirua.
team.
Well, he knew there was a ground there, but I didn't know there was a ground there.
We have another $200 donation from
同じタイミングで始めたのは一番最初の作品は同じタイミングで始めましたね。スーパーマリオ1は同時に始めて、あとはもうリレーというか駅伝方式でたすきをつないでいきながら、もうこれ3作品目なんで、3作品あってこの差がついてるって感じですかね。
We have a $150 donation from Victory Formation that says, here's to the cause, to Team Boom Boom.
そんなに差がやはりついてないので、この作品を同時に始めたんじゃないかなって思われるかもしれないですけど、違うんですよ。3作品やってまだこの差しかついてないですね。いろいろあったんですけどね、そんなに差は大きくついてないです。これがあと2作品あるかってところですけど、スーパーマリオワールドはあるので、2がどこで入るか、それとも入らないのか。
Right through the corner of this block here without going through the door.
来た。壁抜けファンの皆様。
はい。
That skips the entire stage right there. So
skipping the stage is really helpful for not spending as much time playing the game.
Yeah, I hear that.
かなり決めていきましたね。
壁抜けが3回も見れるなんて嬉しいな。やはりそのバグが起こると拍手が起こりますね。
右上スターを使いましたね。
Which allows him to skip going through a little pipe segment to reveal invisible blocks.
わざわざアイテム欄開いて使うぐらいですから、何かやはりメリットがあったんでしょう。
We have an anonymous $200 donation saying, been waiting all week for this race. Go Team Birdo. Marbles, 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 marbles. Put this to naming Pooh's name in Earthbound.
そのうちパックをタックルで潰したかったのかな。
なるほど。敵を1体その倒すためにスターを使っていくあたり、やはり使い方がプロですね。さあこれで全員ワールド7に入りますね。
で、ここでまたここステージ1スキップしてと。おっと、ここで P を使いますね。
壁を抜けていく。
あ、上にあるのか。これショートカットですね、ステージ内ショートカットで。うまくいかないですね。
さて、これで差が。
あ、いきましたね。
いやあっさり決めていった上2人、ちょっと遅れちゃいましたね。
Everybody honestly getting the clip much faster than most people that I watched run this game. So,
but you only watch me.
Yeah, that was the point.
白いやつを先に倒したかったってことがやはり。
And we got a $10,000
また1000ドルが入りましたね。 と左上ちょっとミスりましたね
From, Notch himself saying, "Hey guys."
さあこれで左側の2チームが詰まってきましたが、それでもまだ離れてますね。
はい、
やはりさっきのその壁抜けのミスがでかい。あ、これもなんか怪しい行動してますね。右上が。右上が。
はい、前ですね。
あー、抜けていきました。
あと2回目失敗。
Yeah, so you just crouch jump into the corner.
はい。
あんまりやり直すと普通に行った方が早い。
Catch your foot on the on what we refer to as the wall clip pixel. So every 16 pixels, it sort of represents what the game considers maybe ground to stand on. And so if you can manage to jump into the corner while crouching, catching your foot on what we call the wall clip pixel actually allows Mario to stand back up, something he shouldn't be able to do while he's in midair. And if you can stand up right there, getting his head stuck in the ceiling makes the game start to force him to the right. That's the basic premise.
さあ、ブンブン差ぐらいですかね、左側は。
で、右上またなんかアイテム使える。
So all of the other runners that you're going to see here are going to be using their clown to skip this stage right here. This is the second fortress in World 7. This is a very common stage to be skipped in the warpless category just because it's incredibly difficult to pull off and even more difficult to pull off quickly. But Kirua is actually going to opt to.
Wow, just pulling that level off like it's not even a challenge.
Kirua is actually going to opt to instead skip the fortress in World 8. Now, here's sort of what you need to know about that. Skipping the fortress in World 8 is a longer stage, so it's a calculated choice by doing that. But the alternative result is that now not only did he have to play a more difficult stage, but if he loses his fire,
そうですね、右上がね、ほぼミスがほぼないんですよね。その左側はまあどっちかがミスって追いついてみたいなことをやってます。あ、
ハンマースーツ回収ですね。
タヌキじゃなくてハンマースーツですね。
Big shout outs to Hammer Suit. Kind of the only way to play the game, if you ask me.
We didn't.
Oh, you didn't ask me, did you?
I didn't.
Oh, that's right.
多分真ん中が一番最速のチームかなとは。
あ、誰がどの画面やってるか。これね、ちょっとわかんないな。
さあ、ここもう一回抜けないと実は出れないんですけど、うまいですね。
Nice.
Very
well done by Glib.
He was past the point at no return at that point. After that clip, he was actually trapped in that segment. So it's not like a lot of the other clips where if you miss it, you can just cancel out and go back and try another path. He was committed at that point.
Who getting the first clip?
もうそこを抜けてくる。
Oh, in the second clip.
おお、うまい。
他の方はやらなかったところですね。
Swag clip. You gotta have that Hammer Brother suit on to do that one.
画面につながってるのがそのチーム名。
チームの名前ではなくて、その下の右下のプレイヤーがどの画面を操作してるのかっていうので。
Lot of bad things about you, Sky. I'm sorry.
あ、でも。
Well, mostly bad things about Team Resnor, but I feel like that reflects directly on you as a commentator.
Yeah. Oh, cool! Another airship.
強制スクロールなんでこの差はちょっと埋められないです。
I'm glad that you guys are starting to get tired of auto-scrollers because we're heading into World 8. Thankfully, we won't be seeing any more of those.
Yeah, I don't think there's even one in World 8, is there?
What did these two say about me while I was gone? Alright, so we're coming up on the
いよいよ最終ステージに右上が入ります。
さあ、皆さんもちょっと好きじゃないですかね。戦車隊と飛行船のステージは。あ、途中のあの骨だったかな。
ただまあタイムアタックではね、なかなか時間のかかる攻略になるので、
どうしても強制スクロールというのが、
強制スクロール面はもうスクロールしてくれなきゃクリアできない。
戦車隊ですね。
Well, it's I mean, for a task, it's easily manipulated, but for a human, you've got roughly a 50-50 shot of being pulled into each stage. So, I mean, just based on the numbers, you're looking at a 1 in 8 shot of getting 0 hands, a 1 in 8 shot of getting
そうですね、8のステージ確かにここの戦車と飛行船をクリアした後のステージから8の1が始まりますからね、これ。
Nice.
And to reiterate, you have an equal chance of getting 0 and 3 hands.
左下のハンマーブロスはどこまで維持したいんだろう。
We have a $50 donation
やはり
from
クッパまで
Utopia
行きたい
that
の
says,
か。
Good Hammer Brothers, great clips, no hands, get it done.
ここのボスも早く倒せるのかな。あ、踏んでいきますね。やはりハンマーは使わない。ハンマー効かないのかな。
Also kill the animals, save the marbles.
Gotta save the marbles.
ハンマー当たんなそうですね。
下じゃなくて上ですか。
It's going to allow him to kill the boom booms and kill the boomerang
当て
brothers
づらいし、
pretty quickly.
踏んだ方が早いという
You may
と
think
なる
there's
と
nothing to do in these auto scrollers, but there is a small amount of time being saved
となると
with,
ハンマーは
lag reduction by, eliminating
クッパ
最後まで維持するんですかね。
あークッパまで維持しなきゃいけないというのが。
cannons do not happen.
そうですね、戦車、戦艦、渦、謎の渦と、あと強制スクロールの速度が上がったで、エリア1と。そのエリア1もなかなか私のちょっと言ったトラウマステージで真っ暗で。
Nice. Yeah, the king said that he wanted
いいですね、画面端でハンマーをずっと投げ捨てること環境が
Not quite as good as the hammer suit.
not fast, but you know, fresh.
It's the closest suit to being a
まあ
frog.
わざわざね、ちょっと遠回りしてまで回収したこのハンマースーツですから。
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
いや、しかし当てれないですね。
Alright, so while we're on Kirua's end here in naval ship, be sure again in your chat 1, 2, or 3 hands for Kirua. Maybe we might see the fabled 0. We'll see.
What's the winning prize, Sky?
なるほど。そういう素材でできてますよね。
でサバゲーとか
Yeah,
も
it's
外でや
maybe
ると
worth
きは
noting really quickly
地に
that
帰る BB 弾を使ったり
Kirua is actually slightly further ahead than it seems. He's one full auto scroller ahead, but in addition to that, he is going to have the opportunity to cloud.
じゃあ火はどう
the
説
fortress
明
in
するんですか
World
ね
8 as
画
well,
面
which
外に
is,
放出する火の玉は
definitely a longer fortress. So he's got a little bit of a lead.
まああれ火の玉じゃな
Just
くて
talking
実は
numbers,
ドラゴンボールでいう木じゃん。
Other suit will be able to get a
気弾ですよ
faster kill on Bowser, but
木
just
か
in general, fire and hammer are going to be roughly the same in
Yeah.
terms of time.
Saves about 2 seconds overall, but it adds about 10 points of swag, I think, approximately.
Definitely.
Yeah.
いやー1マップ差がついちゃってますからや
Moment
は
of
り。
truth.
抜けれなかったか。
Almost.
So close.
これはやはり運ゲーっぽいですね、今のテーマ。
そうですね、ここだけは運ですね。ここ抜けれたら差ができるんですけど、ちょっと難しいですね。
これでもあっさり
One still isn't too bad though.
他の
If you are going to
二人が
get
抜けてきたら
one hand, though, the middle hand is actually the one you want to get. It is the shortest of the 3 hands.
Well, at least it
さあ
wasn't
も
the
う
first
一
one.
回捕まる可能性がない。
Oh, look, another
大
auto
丈夫。
scroller.
I mean, honestly, now would be a great time for just a few
さあ、ここで
donations.
高速艇です
No
ね。
problem.
こういうふう
We
にち
have
ょ
a
っとやっ
$75
ぱり
donation
スクロールが
from
速いの
Matthew
が
that says, Hi Phoenix, go
まあ
team
難しいの
Birdo.
か助かってるのかと。
奏者さんにとっては助かる部
We
分
have
か
a
な。
$50 donation from the Nerd Wonder that says, This is the strangest Sonic the Hedgehog
2
race
回
I've
ね、
ever
2
seen.
回引き込まれる可能性がありますよね、確かね。
$20
1回で
from
済んだだけ
Anonymous
本
that
当。
says,
あっ
Go team
と、
everybody.
ここはちょっ
Kirua dying
と
on
痛
the
い。
auto scroller.
これは満身ですわ。
So, he's actually very
で、ちょっ
fortunate
とやっぱ
that
り
he did get the last
でかい
hand,
のを維持したい
in
の
hindsight,
で、葉っぱ使いましたね、
because
さっきと渦のところで取っ
otherwise
た
he。would have actually gone back to the pipe, which meant he would have had to try for all 3 hands again.
で、もうちょっとここで普通の
さ
サイズ
あこれで
While previously
手
we
に
said
捕まら
that
な
the
ければ
middle hand would
割
have
と
been the best one
いい
for him
感
to
じ
get.
に
Really glad that he got the last hand.
あ
Yeah.
ー、引き込まれてと。
そういうわけにはいきませんでしたね。
はい。
Speaking of the middle hand, that is the one that Aweglib happened to
そう
get.
ですね、さっ
Hopefully
き
we
の
don't see the last one again.
渦で葉っぱで回収できたのが、右上はちょっと助かった形になりました。
さあ左下がやはり一番遅れてるチームなんで、
あ、真ん中捕まるな。
あ、同じとこで捕まっちゃいますね。はい。
Will he still be able to get fire for
均等に
killing, Bowser?
I'm not sure actually.
こ
Do
う
you know
平等
whether
に
or
ね
not he's going to have access to fire anywhere else, really?
引
He
き込ま
will
れて
have
しまいまし
access
た。
to fire, but it depends on whether or not he plans on skipping the fortress.
Well, he
And
has
will
the
it-
cloud for it. It would certainly
た
save
だ
more
スクロール
time
面
to
で
get the
一
fortress.
応
あーっと左下運がない。
No, then.
Yeah, the Bowser kill will take a significantly longer time
残念。
without Fire Flower.
I think it's probably going to normalize a lot of this gap.
Absolutely.
So Aweglib really getting the best case scenario here of our three runners. Only got the middle hand.
これはチャンスは左上。
If you really want to troll the runners, if
微妙
somebody's
かな。
asking you how many hands
左
did
上
somebody
ぐら
get,
い
if
か
you
な。
say 4, you're not a nice
まあしかし
person.
この作品だけで順位が決まるわけじゃないですからね。
まだあとはありますから、
なるべく
どこでミスがあるかは。
離されないで、ついていくのが大事かもしれませ
で、
ん。
雲で8の2をスキップ、スターを使って
Oh,
砦を
so he chose instead to cloud 8-2 and saves
で
him
フラワ
from
ー
the
シュー
fortress.
ト。
As we said before, being able to react to circumstances you don't normally continue runs in on is a really difficult thing to do in a marathon race, and Kirua kind of just showing his overall Mario knowledge right here by
ですね、多分そ
knowing
んな感
immediately
じ
what
か
he
な、
wanted to
順
do
番的に。
to be able to get the Bowser quick kill.
I feel like to a certain extent this was an obvious choice, but I completely
まあゴールした
agree with
時
the option.
にどのチーム
On
が
a different
あの
stage.
It is
交代してる
important
か
to
見れば
note
わかるん
that
です
the
けどね。
fortress
ちょっと
is
覚えてない。
substantially longer than A2, though.
Yeah.
まあでもさっき落ちた時にすごいショックを受けてたので、多分右上はもう青
Definitely
で
a
すよね。
costly error on the auto scroller, but something that's just going to normalize the race in general. I think
Yeah.
Team Boom Boom probably still in a slight lead right now.
左下が緑の人かな。
We'll get our second visit from the Angry Sun here.
That bane of my childhood right there.
でもう一回戦車と。
One thing that is interesting with the hammer suit strat is that in that level, grandpoobear will actually be able to kill the sun, and it'll make that level incredibly less stressful for him.
というよりやっぱ左下はハンマーをやっぱり維持してますね。
やはりクッパに食らわせたいっていう感じでしょ。
So Aweglib still has his fire
気を
flower.
連打してますね、
No
右
worries
上は。
here.
みなぎってまいりました。
気を連打してますね。
Kirua
連
is
続
just
エネルギー
showing
弾。
what all speedrunners do during the very last auto scroll.
左下右の人か。
Enough already. We're done with this.
どうだろ
Wow, that was some really clean movement. Great work from grandpoobear over there.
Pooh Bear just showing he's not just a pretty face.
う。帽子の人
He's
が
got moves. He's got
左
skills.
下が赤ですか。あ、なるほど。
Yeah.
So grandpoobear forgot to activate the star going into this level, which would normally help him run through these rings. So he's going to lose a little bit of time.
He's making the smart decision to just take it a little bit safe. That's really all you can ask for in that situation. And by this point, the star would have run out, so you know it only affected him in that first room.
Yeah. Author Blue's compliment made him blush just too hard. Made him weaken the knees.
Aweglib.
おー
Wow, nice.
イエ
Clip
ス
by Kirua.
抜けまし
Kirua
た。
got that clip. He's
壁
gonna
抜け
feel
は
one more
ミスらない
clip
で
there.
す
This clip
ね
is definitely the easiest
あ
one
ー、うま
easy
い。
to pull off.
It's called the
Okay.
every man clip because every man can do it. Just crouch and jump up in that corner and you will clip through the wall.
さあ、やはり順調ですね、右が。ポコポコポコポコ。連続
あ
ね、これダ
Nice
メ。
hitbox, Bowser.
Great one.
Great time by Kirua,
Banana.
still keeping Team Boom Boom in the
I mean,
lead.
honestly,
Mitsubishi
Kirua
guy.
really clutched out the end of that run.
Absolutely.
I mean,
being
he
able to
put-
recover from dying in that auto scroller, knowing how to adjust his strats to be able to pick an additional level, a different level to pass over, and where to find
さあ
Fire
何
Flower.
分差が
Just
つい
showing
て
the
る
kind of
か
expertise he has in
で
the
す
game,
か
not just
ね
knowing。
やはり
his
で
own
も
route and
あ
what
でも
the
ワールド
record
があるか
strats are,
マリオ
but
ワー
knowing
ルド
his
も
game well enough to adjust,
マリオワールド
especially
も
in a,
そこ
marathon
そこ
race
長
like this,
そうなん
that
で
can be really important. Really mitigating that mistake the most that he possibly could.
さあ右上のチームが真ん
No
中
clip for
なの
Aweglib
で
there, but really didn't lose him much time, so
やはり色で皆さんちゃんとね青い T シャツっていうので統一してるんですね。
gets
さ
the
あ
every
壁抜
clip.
けはうまいことやっていきましたね。
Excuse me, young man. Are you supposed to be up here? Young boy?
おっと、ジャンプ失敗。あ、コレクション開きましたね、今。
We're gonna see some more of a demonstration of Bowser's.
いやしかしブンブンはハンマーで一瞬で解けますねこれ。
あとクッパ左上も同じパターンで学ばないクッパ
開く。さあピット作業が
nice clip by Pooh.
左下も抜けてくる。
と
ここ痛い。
I think
しかもほうきの子も失敗してしまいましたね。ちょっとこ
the
こ
hammer suit. Pooh says he's sorry, just so you guys know.
うわーちょっと惜しい。
That's such an easy mistake to make as well.
マリオ
It's so
2ですね。
difficult to make it up those stairs at full speed. And all it
マリオ
takes-
そうですね、ロ
2。
ストレベル
all it takes
に
is
なってま
hopping
す
off
ね。
one of those steps.
さあ
So
ピ
this
ット
battle
作業
will
が
take
割と
a
時間
bit
かかっ
longer,
てました
but at least
ね
he
こ
can
れ
sit
は。
inside his sprite, which is a cool thing to
さあ
show.
左上がそうしてる間に
Team Boom Boom getting started on lost levels.
そうですね、ハンマーがなくなってしまったので
ちょっとこ
下に
の
落とすしかなくなってしまいます。
Right now, picking up off of this one.
So, important thing to note here, version differences right
さあ
off
ロ
that.
ストレベ
RaikouRider
ルで
has
すね。
chosen to
グラフィ
go
ックが
with
全然
lost
違うな。
levels on
や
the
っぱり
Super
スーパーファミコン
Nintendo.
になったので。
Meanwhile,
さあ
Supersonic is
左上のピット
using
ピット作業
FDS
がちょっとぐだってる感
Nice
じです
job
か
by
ね。
Pooh. Give him a hand.
左上の左上なんかリセットを繰り返してますが、これ大丈夫かな？起動しない
ちょっと。カセットが反応が。
Keep in mind that with the weirder
これは追いつい
hitboxes
ちゃう
with
ぞ
these
ピット作業で。
piranha plants, he's really having to deal with making sure that
ピ
he
ット
doesn't
作業で
come
追い
anywhere
つい
near
てし
them.
まう。
That's
追いついてしまった。
あ
playing on the SNES version, which has a lot of nice features in a lot of other ways, but you know he has
Mario
to deal with these
Collection の
differences in hitboxes. You're going to see a lot of those differences play out as you watch Supersonic over there playing.
いや、
playing
思い
on
出
the
したね。
Famicom
これはで
Disk
も
version, the FDS version.
始まり
Darbian
ま
wanted
し
me
た
to
ね
make。it clear that this
いやー
game
でも
moves
これ
at
は
the speed of molasses. This is the slow version. So
Okay. Is that why he's playing this version?
I don't know. Yeah. I
Is
guess
he trying
just-
to give himself a handicap?
Yeah, I think so. So a lot of people know Darbian. He's a young boy, somewhere between the ages
こ
of
れ
14
は
and 40
スー
years
ファ
old.
ミですかね。スーパー
Generally
マリオコ
powered
レ
by
クシ
the
ョンなん
strength
で
of Chocolate Milk. He has a couple of Mario World records, and pretty sure he's just gonna
スーパーファミコン
bring
ですね。
Team Birdo right
あ
back to
左上がディスクシステムなんで
Now you'll notice in lost levels,
なんで
you
わざわ
actually
ざ
get
そっ
two
ちで
options within the game. You can play as Mario or
あ
as
ー全部違
Luigi.
うのか。
And there's actually a
一人
quite
だ
a
け違
difference
うぞ
between
多
these
い
two characters. So Mario doesn't have as great of a jump, but Mario can stop on a dime.
だから時間かかって
Amazing
たんです
jump.
ね。
Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to see him, but Luigi skids as if he's on ice. So all three players using Mario for good reason. You not have to just.
なんで背景の作り込みが全然。
And if you're curious
ちょっと
about
待って
what
ますね
it is now,
左下もね
we're playing these in the
左
US
下の方は
release order,
やはり
so,
さっきのその
just played
準
through
備の
the
時間
3DS
分
versions. No?
No,
What
it's
the
not
kanji はありま
necessarily
したね。
for. It's
Well,
not
also
for
for
release
console
order.
switches.
Yeah, this
なんで
main
左下
order
も
makes
日
it a little
本語
strange,
版
but
の
it's
スーパー
actually
マリコレだったん
optimized
で
for
ス
console
ーパーマリオブラザーズ
switches.
2
So
ってなったんですね
each team is only,
ロストレベルで
switching
あっとちょっと左下
consoles primarily one time.
あ
That's a really tough jump to pull off.
1の1で死んでいく。まあこのマリオ2は難易度が格段にね高いので。
Darbian showing even 1-1 in lost levels, not a trivial
わざわ
level.
ざ
Honestly, the first world of this game is really difficult. There's a lot of precise platforming in 1-1, and some tight windows for those jumps. And unfortunately, just clipping into one of those.
なんで左上だけやたらレトロチック
Playing this run, small Mario.
ファミコンかなと思
Darbian's
ったん
going
で
to
す
be
け
playing
ど。
this Fire Mario, and Supersonic's going to be playing this Small Fire. So we're really seeing the same breakdown in strats. that we
ネ
saw
オ
with
ジオはもう
SMB1.
ほぼ残ってないです
Not really
ね
for any particular reason. There was no agreement in advance to show off the strats. It just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah. And this race for lost levels is going to be through 8-4, so they will not be going through the A1 through D4 stages.
ま
So
あ完全にねレースですけどエンターテインメントですね。もう
If they did want to go through the letter levels, they would all have to be playing on the Super Nintendo version. On
Yep.
the Famicom version, you have to beat the game so many times to grant themselves access to the letter levels. So
yeah.
through 8-4 only.
あっと危ない
あああ
Oh,
あ
good recovery.
ピタンって取りましたね
Okay, I think he's just going to take the backup.
Yeah.
さすが
Getting momentum to get up there is incredibly difficult.
Yeah, it's a real challenge to actually make use of your momentum properly and time it out with the
Absolutely.
pattern of the.
ちゃんと3秒じゃなくて
Chrono
4秒で
You saw there, just worth noting at least one time, that the Raikou and you just saw Darbian do it as well. They're backwards jumping into the flagpoles, and the reason for that is, as mentioned before, you accelerate faster coming off of the top of the flagpole, but in addition to that, you don't have to watch Mario flip to the other side. If they back jump into the flagpole, it totally skips that part, so it's a little bit faster.
So here a little bit of difference. Here's
進化しましたね。
his fire flower.
So you just saw Supersonic pick up a 1-up towards the end of 2-1. The reasoning for that is if Supersonic game's over, he
まあ
does
単
have
純にレースとして見るなら
beginning of the previous world.
多分
Unlike the Super Nintendo version,
左下の
much more
チームは
forgiving, you get to begin at the beginning of that world.
Nice fire kill from Darbian.
追いついてくるんじゃないでしょうか。
kind of set himself up
ちょ
to
っ
get
と
the
見
fireballs. The fireball
左上
kills are kind of strange
ち
in
ょ
how
っ
they
と
work.
ね
Bowser.
当たっ
He
ちゃい
actually
ま
has
した
two
ね。
hitboxes, so it can take, I think, as little as 3 fireballs and as many as 5 fireballs to kill him. So to react and meet this correct frame rule in real world record attempts is kind of difficult to maintain.
さあリカバリーでファイ
Nice
ヤー
backup
取っていき
strategy
ま
by
す。
Supersonic.
そうですね、左上はディスクバーなので失敗したら私も戻されるっていうことを説明してくれた人がいるのだーっとせっかく稼いだのに
So fireworks work a bit differently in lost levels. Be sure that the last digit of your coins does not match the last digit of your time, otherwise you're going to get fireworks. Very different from
やっぱ左上だけ
this one.
前ファミコン
Yeah,
でやっ
this
てま
race
す
isn't
ね
even close to over if you really consider it. I mean, just the spread in the PBs between these three, and with how consistent a runner like Darbian tends to be, you're looking at the PB breakdown for these 3 runners actually being in the reverse order of the placement in this run right now. So Darbian definitely being one of the more
まあそれでもかなりのハンデですよ
pulling
ね。
up third place and being able to close the gap with
で
Ryan
も
and
右上はもう3ですからね
We have a $200 donation from Anonymous that says, "Thanks for a great week of entertainment, guys. Extra kudos to the excellent couch commentators who make every run more interesting."
You're welcome.
Supersonic making it through 2-4, quite out of his element right now, but very much still doing a good job.
Team Birdo only 1 level behind Team Resnor now, so the gap's starting to shorten.
Definitely.
Darbian missing the clip there in 2-4, but only saves.
そうですねスーファミ
Solid fire kill, Bowser by Darbian.
さあ追いつけるかな
So in 3-1, we are introduced to the springboard, not going to use it, but the green springboard allows Mario to hover over parts of the stage. We're going to see this more prevalent in World 7-3, but this is the first place where we would see it in the game. Also, if you were playing this game casually, do not go down any random pipes. There are various warps that take you back to level 1.
Darbian unfortunately losing fire flower there. He's gonna have to pick up
だいぶ
power-ups coming up.
だいぶ離れましたね。
Be able to get his power back up.
I'm not sure. There are plenty of power-ups throughout this run that I think he'll be able to grab them from.
そうやって見ると
あっ
右上は
と
Afraid to have to really slow down in any of them.
右上はちょっと総合力が高
on
い
the。firebar there.
しかしちょっとミスが出ましたけど
The gap between all 3 teams just getting closer and closer now.
Okay, out of the water level, which is good.
はいここで4のステージ
Nice
入りま
3-4
すね
Bowser. That Podobo makes
Aye, aye.
things just aggravating in that level. Good job.
多分見どころっていうか盛り上がるとしたらマリオワールドのヨッシーを使った強引なマップ抜けですかね。
ですねヨッシーは基本的にどの作品でも投げ捨てられますからね
してよし、まああそこやっぱりマリオワールドでそのマップの短縮がどれくらいうまくいくかっていうのが割とブレると思いますけど。
Absolutely. I think of all of the games that we've seen so far, the game that's had runners with the closest spread of TVs has actually been Super Mario World.
バグなしとは一言も書いてないので。
And if this game
ス
keeps
テージスキ
closing
ッ
the
プを
gap
しなけ
quite
れ
as
ば
much as
何
it
でも
is,
OK なの
I
で
think Super Mario World is going to really be exciting to watch.
Yeah, there was some concern with Super Mario World, everybody's PBs just being so close that
そうだろう。
as the finale, maybe
タッサンみたいな。
whatever the runners order entered in would stay, but it seems like that's probably not going to be the case in this situation, which is really great to see.
Oh, absolutely.
ヨッシーに食べさせたもので何かアイテム変化をさせるみたいな、そういうことはやらないんだな。
darbian taking advantage of a trick there where if you're getting a mushroom, you're able to if you
まあ
if
無
you
を
jump
食べたりしないんで
right as you get the mushroom, you're able to do like an additional jump, getting the power up, which can help you meet higher up platforms and stuff. Having to go with the standard axe kill there since he still doesn't have the fire flower back yet.
Darbian and Supersonic very close.
比較的やはり左の2人が
Unfortunately, Darbian though, your princess is
つかず離れず近いところなので、で右上はもう2面ぐらい先行っちゃってるので、
Darbian losing the mushroom.
なかなかこの作品だけで追いつくのは難しいかなってところですね。
どうしてもミスがないとギミックは全部一緒なんで、釣りみたいにさっきのブロスとかの邪魔が
ちょっと運要素がねあんまり絡んでこないかなっていうところですね。
I think that little
あーミスないですね右上
was actually to offset the fireball pattern.
It did.
Really well done.
And I think that was a really smart choice to make. Obviously, you lose a little bit of time slowing down like that, but for the sake of consistency in a run like this, I think that was a really clever choice to
半分終わりましたね。
actually slow down just a little bit so that fireball pattern didn't hit him right when he was over that platform. That's a real
Absolutely.
danger for that castle.
That was actually not the bad fireball. The bad fireball is the one that hits you, that just
Right at-
glazes
right
over
at
the
ground
top.
level.
Yeah.
Now, if you're wondering why there haven't
デ
been
ィ
as
スク
many
システム
really
の方も
popular ROM hacks
かな
in
り
the
頑張って
original
ます
Super
ね。
Mario Brothers 1, and that's because Nintendo made one, and it's this game.
こちらはミス
A
が
lot
許
of
さ
us
れない
didn't
の
get
で
this for a long time in the US because they didn't think that the US market would be very interested in how difficult it is. So we didn't get it until this Lost Levels release. I recommend trying it out though if you've never played it because it is a ton of fun, and if you play on the All Stars version, it's actually pretty forgiving. You can just keep continuing from the level you left off on, which is really nice. Darbian back to full power up.
乗ってますね。ああ当たってしまう。
It's alright,
しかし
Supersonic had the power.
しかしチビファイヤーですねこれ
Well done still. 4-4 is a very
チビ
difficult
ファイヤー
level.
成功しましたね。
You can see how difficult it is to maintain your power-ups.
どうなんでしょうか。まあでも当たったら終わりですからね。
The plumber just not clicking for Darbian there through the wall.
もう左下攻めますね
You see some Darbian swag with that crouch
あ偽
there.
チビファイヤーだそうですねあ本当は元に戻ってる
偽チビファイヤー。
So here in 5-1, you will see the wind. Very unique element to Super Mario Brothers 2J. We're going to see it more and more again in 7-3 combined with the green springboards.
ちょ
っとねディスクシステムはねロードがね
It can be useful to span longer gaps, but one of the issues with the wind is it always seems to appear at inconvenient spots. So a lot of times you'll be climbing up a staircase in order to make a precarious jump, and the wind, it doesn't activate randomly or on a timer or anything like that, but it activates based on your position in the stage, and that can be really challenging.
Darbian taking an unfortunate death in 5-1 here, so back down to no power-ups. You can just kind of see how difficult this run is with just so many of these runners struggling with keeping their power-ups or dying. It's a really difficult, precise run. Heavy resets when you're actually doing attempts, and it's showing why.
Yeah, it's strange. At times you think that the stakes are a lot higher by choosing to play Small Mario in games like this, and they can be because you gain the sort of consistency of being able to afford to lose
順
power-ups.
調に右上が
But,
5面を
really well
クリアしそうです
practiced
ね
Small
これ
Mario
は。
runner. It tends to be the case that if you're not stopping for power-ups and you already have a plan for what to do Small Mario at all times, it can make it a lot easier to sort of work your way through levels.
5-1 Darbian and Supersonic both missing the turtle jump. If you are able to jump and hit that turtle with the right momentum, you can actually skip all the way up there and not have to hit those blocks and do a manual climb to get to the flagpole.
Supersonic performed a pair of tricks in the past stage 5-2, clipping through the pipe to get both power-ups, and then at the end of the stage, to access the end of the stage a bit easier. Well done on clipping the pipe, and it's only available in the FDS version.
Darbian back to full power-up. Supersonic staying in small Mario right now.
Oh, and right there was a great example of what I was talking about before. The wind activates in a really inconvenient
さあトッ
time.
プの慢心か
You really want to be able to land on the top block of that
まだこの世
staircase.
界の
If you're
水
not
は
prepared
泳げない
for
ので
that wind or it just catches you in the wrong way, it's so easy to just jump right into the drink.
Again, as Author Blues was saying, the amount of recovery needed, though, if you're used to small Mario strats, being able to stick with that, and Supersonic taking a death on 5-4 as well.
これは
This stage here, 5-3, is reminiscent of the puzzle castles from the first game. Those puzzle castles do reappear in this game, but they also the puzzle castles sort of reappear as stages like 5-3, where you have to figure out how it wants you to exit a room. Otherwise, the room just continues to loop. In that case, it happened to be a pipe that was just.
ですね。
さあこれはだいぶ追いつきましたね。
5-4 is one of those levels.
セク
It's
ファイア
much
維持なん
easier
で
to
すけど。
speedrun it than to play it casually.
Darbian getting hit by the Podoboo, unfortunately, in 5-4.
まあでもここ通るには下通るには地
Really
位がいい
having
の
a
で
hard time holding on to that fire power up, unfortunately, but still alive.
RaikouRider seems to be on the right end of the strats right now by using small
今自然に
Mario.
土管すり抜けしましたね。
What a clean pipe clip from Ryan over there.
Similar to like Link to the Past, not having that backup of having, the Fire Flower can make you prepared in any situation. You're used to running through each level as Small Mario, whereas if you're used to running through with Fire Mario and you have to do several levels in a marathon like this as Small Mario, it can be a tough adjustment.
Definitely. Now these are very similar stages to the cheap bridges that we saw earlier in Super Mario Bros. 1.
しかしマリオ2のマップ構成はいやらしいですねやっぱり
Nice.
ね
Well done,
難易度が
Mario.
それただ
Great way out of a
海外の
traffic
人に
jam.
物足
Very
りな
nice,
かった
Raiko.
と言って発売され
You
たは
get
ずな
the
んですけ
same
ど
cheap spawners in these levels as you do in the Super Mario Bros. 1 cheap bridges, but the platforms are placed in really precarious ways that make it very difficult to make your way through them at full speed.
6-4 right here, second puzzle castle of the game.
This is an interesting puzzle castle because often new players will ask, well, what's the route through this castle? And the joke is always, you just pick whichever pathway you would never want to go because it's always the worst path through this.
A nice feature of the All-Stars on the Super Nintendo is if you get the puzzle right, you
順
get this
調
nice
に
little
6面
chime
を
sound.
突破しそうですね
Yeah,
これは
You don't get that on FDS.
First try 6-4. That's an extremely challenging stage, and all it takes is losing focus for a moment to end up running into one of the really long fire bars or something like that, and that was an excellent display.
Yeah, Team Boom Boom holding on to their lead here. Lots of different stuff going on with all three runners kind of struggling, keeping power-ups or dying a few times.
But I mean, all told, we're still
all
seeing
told, yeah.
runners that are only 2 stages apart.
キノコを取らない
Yeah. Nobody
一
really
回も大きくなったところ見たことないですね。いや
That star is a pretty good choice in this stage, especially with, at this point in the game, the Hammer Brothers now, not only are they obnoxious and stand right in your way, but now as soon as they spawn, they start charging at you. If you weren't terrified of Hammer Brothers before, you should be now.
今のこの子を踏んでちょっと空中で待ちましたね秒数
ですね、どうしても。
So good job pulling that off and leaving as big Fire Mario.
出すだけ出してキノコはやっぱり取らないと。
Fireball bar in the world there.
まあでステージショートカットは使っていく。
Nice 6-4 for Supersonic.
Oh, darbian just went for a very difficult jump to pull off there. You have to land pretty far on the right of the moving platform, and you have to jump pretty late to make it all the way across the gap.
いい感じに1面差ずつ
Hey, off.
ああ、素晴らしい。
あー抜けましたね。
What does the
Good
Kirua
job.
player say?
Hodaboo.
Nope.
Another pipe clip by Supersonic. Just tremendous pipe clips tonight.
7-3 is definitely a difficult level. Casually, the momentum for handling this wind and these springs is incredibly difficult. And to optimally do it, you really have to hit the springboard on the far right of its hitbox in order to get the right cycle. Probably wise for all of these runners to not go for optimal cycles in this, just due to the risk that it would cost them if they miss it.
That's some optimal cycles in 7-3 for Riker.
Good job.
Supersonic taking a death on 7-2.
あっと。
さ
And
That's
Raiko
very
on
tough to pull
あ
off.
さあさあさあ
Kaiser blocked.
He wanted that mushroom.
また面白い
トップが足踏みしてくると追っかけるチームは攻めてくる可能性が
また同じところで。
あーこれは
怖くなりますね。残機がやっぱりなくなると
残機に
1のステージからやり直しになっちゃうので、これは慎重にならざると危ない。
おお
Darbian going through 7-3 now.
あちょっとこれは待ちますねしょうがない
Raiko still in the lead.
Okay, he made the right choice. He slowed down there. If he had fallen down that pit, he was going to have to wait for the Buzzy Beetles to catch up to him in line so that he could have cleared them out.
Knowing his team's in the lead.
いやーやっぱりむずそうだな面が
Bad idea, obviously.
あーっと左下もちょっと痛いミス。
This is a really difficult part right
こ
here.
こは追いつきたかっ
Dealing with
た
the Hammer Bowser combined with the
そうですね、ちょ
Firebar
っ
in the
と
worst
右
possible
左上
spot.
なんですけど、そう
Definitely
です
a
ね、
tough
右上もちょっと途中2回ミスしましたが、
The young boy dying on level 7-3. I think
左上もミスっちゃったですか
い
ね
やー左上も怖いですよ、ミスったら。
able to pull ahead. Raiko kind of keeping a clean head has just kept his team in the lead.
いや、後半ちょっとやっぱり足場がいやらしいですね。さて、さあ、おかげで、ちょっと中盤ミスしたおかげで、左下が抜きました。
This game really tests your understanding of a lot of things in this game. Looks like he's going to play it safe right here with his Hammer Brother, and I do not blame him one bit.
Yeah, Lost Level's really taking advantage of you needing to know the momentum physics very well to even beat it casually. Lots of different blocks or different jumps that you really need to know how to control Mario properly to do. Or Luigi if you choose to do that. Good job, Raiko finishing up 8-1 there.
Yeah, so he's going to pick
わあ
up
完全に抜き
pick
ま
up
したね
some fireworks right here. So the difference between Lost Levels and Super Mario Bros. 1 is in Lost Levels you actually get fireworks if the last number on your
ね、
timer
左上も
matches
負
the
けずに
last number of your
ワン
point
ジャンプ分で
counter.
抜けましたね。
So it makes it more difficult to skip fireworks. In Mario 1, you only have to look at the timer, but in Lost Levels, you have to keep track of your coin count, and you have to know when you're grabbing coins, when you're not grabbing coins. Accidentally grabbing coins can make you have to think.
これは痛い
Darbian missing the jump off of the
これは痛いぞ
turtle shell there in 8-1.
I always take for
これでまた
granted
逆転
how
です
much
か
easier
ね
these jumps are for Luigi in 8-1.
おっと、しかし、
Oh, nice clip
お
by
抜けた
Darbian.
土管抜け
息をするかのように抜けていきます。
So that right there is just showing off
守るということはない
weird
のか
physics of this game. In most of the Mario Brothers games, I would say, but definitely in 1 and 2J, you have to deal with this situation where if Mario is moving up or not moving in any direction and he touches an enemy, the enemy wins. So Mario's going to take damage or die. Whereas if Mario is moving down at all, he pretty much wins every exchange.
さあもう
which is why you see
右
a
上
lot
は
of times here,
ラストですね。
the runners will jump at an enemy, and even though
左上見せていきますね、また。2段ジャンプ使い
Supersonic
ます。
continuing with the swag strats. Gotta love the Koopa shell at the bottom of that pit, just kind of hanging out there.
all right,
Nice job by darbian there.
Raikou's cleaning up this
Oh,
run with a solid 8-4.
Raikou doing a really good job of staying cool when things started to unravel for a bit there, and play it a little bit safe, keep his team in the lead, and really just take advantage of some of the mistakes that Team Reznor and Berto have been making. Did a really good job there, setting up his team to be in the lead going into the last game. It's really
Every
important.
room in this castle tests you. And it's easy to take for granted, a lot of these runners have been playing this game for a while, playing these games for a while, but sometimes some things just don't get much easier, and this castle is one of them. This castle is tough the first day you
フォ
play
ト
it,
2
it's
から
tough the
の
last
新
day you
要素
play
の
it.
毒キノコ。
Darbian slowing down to make sure that the time and his coins didn't match there. Almost got some fireworks, but avoided it.
さあ終わっちゃい
There
終
we see Bowser,
わっちゃうかな。右上は
and also here we see Bowser.
Yeah.
終わってしまいま
いい、
はい
右上はこ
終わり
れで。
Nice
At the end
job
of
by
8-4,
Raikou.
wonderful run by RaikouRider.
やっぱちっちゃいので、あれですね、閉まらないので大きくなりましたね、無理やり。
サイズを合わせていきますね。
Personally feeling the sweat of you possibly picking a speed game for me right now.
You probably should be.
I'm feeling the pressure.
GG
There was a $50 donation from Anakos that
さあ
actually said
最後の
best
作
of
品になるの
luck
か
to
な次は
RaikouRider
そう
for
ですね
the lost
スーパーマリオワールド
levels. Obviously, he did a fantastic job. So
多
Absolutely.
分みんなが一番やってるマリオ、私これじゃないかな
Oh,
と
there's
思い
the
ますね。
clip in 8-4.
しかも日本語版ですね。
さあ
That's it.
強引に最後抜けていきましたね。
This is going to be
さあ、左
very
上も
close going into the final game.
終わりで
Having
す。
both runners
さ
at the end
あ
of
意外にね
8-4
このピット作業が
before Team Boom
ばらつきがあるので
もうこっちも左も右下もごしごり押しで。
And Darbian finishes.
That means we have a 1-minute gap between the first place and the last place
Yeah.
team
まあ
right
で
now.
も同じスーパーファミコン
Absolutely.
あそっかディスクシステムからスーパーファミコンの作品になるから
Absolutely.
ちょっとピット作業が
早いですね。
あ大丈夫で
I mean,
す
when we
あ
talk
大丈夫
about,
です
when
ご
we
飯と
talk
なんで
about
早い
the
ですね。
variance between PBs in this category, I think the difference between the best and the worst runner in this
これあれですかね
on stage
時間
right now
計
is
っ
less
て
than 20 seconds. We're talking like
ちゃんと
15
待ってる感じ
seconds.
ですね
And
さっき
the
から
time
そ
loss
の
that
ピ
you
ット
can
作業
lose from some of these strats,
早くできたら
some of
早く始める
the
感じじゃないんです
harder,
よ
more
ね
difficult stuff, you're talking easily a minute.
Yeah.
So that's easily the difference between the first place and
Yeah.
last place team right now.
It would not be a shock for first place to go to third or vice versa.
まあ
This is really coming down to this.
これまで
game.
の
It's gonna be
あの
awesome.
マリオに比べて断然壁抜けの可能性が高くなってきましたねこの
That in
スーパー
lost
マリオワール
levels,
ド
we actually were in an interesting position where our best runner was in third place, and our second best runner was in second, and our third best runner was in first place
Yeah.
at the
これ
time.
日本語があるって
And
こ
it's
と
kind
で
of
全部
interesting
日
because
本
we're
語
seeing
版
something very
です
similar
よね。
here. Truman does have the best PB,
マリコレの
but Dots is
マリコレ
easily
じ
the
ゃな
most
いか
consistent
う
runner
ん
and
ワー
more
ルドは
likely to end
あれ
up
ですか
playing
ね
near his PB than the other threes. And so we actually are seeing a very similar thing.
わかりません
in
どういうバ
Restream
グ
where-
使うかとにか
So,
くバグを
which
禁止してないっ
levels
ていうところ
do
に
you
ミ
think
ソ
are
があ
going
る
to make the biggest difference heading into this
多
final
分ワールドと
part of
ス
the
ター
relay?
で
Well, I
直
have
接横
early
に
insight
つけ
into
る
what
ス
strats
テ
these guys
ッ
are
プは
going
こ
to
う
be
使わなけれ
using.
ば
But I
OK なはずなので。
them themselves.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You're on the inside.
When I say inside source, I literally mean inside
Wow.
source.
そうですね
So
全チーム
I
日
know
本
what
語版
strats
で
these guys are going to be using. There's a few stages throughout this run that are going to make the difference, but I think that this is going to be extremely close. All of these runners are really some of the best at this game. Now, one thing that I do want to point out before we start this run, for anyone who's familiar with Super Mario World, there's
さあ
two
一
main
面差
warpless
ですか
categories in this
ね
game. There's no Star World, which is the conventional warpless category, but it's not a particularly
ワールドはいろんなバ
it's
グ
not a
があります
particularly
からね、露
enjoyable
骨に。
run, either to
まあ
run
とりあえず
or
ヨッ
to
シー
watch.
が
So
出てき
these
てか
runners have
ら
all chosen these little castles.
ヨシが出たらもうその
ヨッシー
10秒後ぐらいにはもう見捨てられると思っても
間
違いではないですね。
beating every single world and beating every single boss. So we're going to be seeing that.
Nobody having any issues with YI3 box jump there. Can be really tough for new runners, but it's really easy to learn. And these guys done it literally tens of thousands of times. So.
Yeah, the first world of this game goes the same in every single category. So these runners combined probably have tens of thousands of attempts just on these stages.
Part of the reason why all castles was
こ
chosen
の
is,
網
quite
の
frankly, we've seen enough
行
auto
動もいいですよ
scrollers.
ね。この攻撃するとそれ手をパンとして落とすという。おう
Well, unless you want to count sandbar, but
Well,
sandbar
I
has some
say
tricks.
that as we're sitting in an auto scroller, so I
これは
instantly
ジャンプ
take
成
it
功
back.
しましたかね。
Oh, this one's very
It's okay,
short
bud.
compared to Butterbridge 1, which is what, about 2 minutes or so?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a minute 20 seconds, a minute 30 seconds.
あ、また気を
Obviously,
無駄に
wearing the
放出
freshest
して。
hat of the group.
But I think Aaron easily has the freshest face of them.
はい、スムーズに1回の
So
傾
does
き
that
で
give。thoughts? It's not very nice.
He's got nice glasses.
He's got nice
もう手落
glasses.
ちですね。
So yeah, speaking of skipping auto scrollers, we are not going to be going through Donut Plains 2, which is a good thing. Very long auto scroller. Instead we'll be going through Donut Secret 1, the water level, just straight up and then to the right.
Yeah, so these runners are going to be taking the normal all castles or no Star World route through World 2. Now, I mentioned the difference in the categories. So no Star World is a category that's not required to get all of the castles. It's just trying to get to Bowser as quickly as possible without taking the Star Road, which people who've played this game or watched this game are probably very familiar with what Star Road is. It's a
あと、
warp
ちょっと
zone
左
that
上は
allows you
そうですね、
access
時
to a
間かかっ
lot
ちゃい
of
ますね。
other worlds, and it can warp you straight
ちょっ
to
と待機し
Bowser's
て。
castle.
So Truman grabbing the cape here. The cape is really the thing that breaks open SMW as a speed game. Why don't you give us a little of insight into kind of how that tech works?
うん、左
So
左出したらちょっ
efficient
とあったん
caping
で。
is actually quite challenging, and it's a lot harder than it looks. It's not just a matter of tapping left, which is really the reputation of this game gets, but every time you press
さあ、この
right
スーパー
on
マ
the
リオの
controller,
このね、
Mario's
マントが
speed
また
oscillates. I
マン
don't
ト
マントが
も、
またね
まあちょっとマリオ、こ
know
の
why the speed
マリオでいう
oscillates, but
ワールド
oscillates
でいう
between
ちょっと
a lot
三
of
種の
different
神
values.
秘な
So what these runners are doing is
マントの
looking for
加
very
速が
specific visual cues on screen.
土管
Trying to
上
figure
抜
out
き
whether or not they have the fastest possible flight speed. And when I say the fastest possible flight speed, I'm talking about the difference of sub-pixels per frame. It's a very,
さ
very
あ、怪
small
し
amount.
いステージに来ましたけど、ここやるなんかやるのかな？
It can add up. I don't think that would probably make much of a difference here.
そうですね、怪しい
I think
ステー
so.
ジで
With
す
the
が。
number of stages that they will actually end up flying over in this category, I think it will probably only
まあ
make
コ
a
カ・コーラを持
difference
つことによ
of,
ってなぜか
10
水
seconds
中を泳ぐ
between
速
someone
度
who's
が
not
上が
paying
るっていう
attention to it.
もう不思議な物理学
これで上がってます
Should
ね。
be very
採
small.
用しております。
さあ、
ああ、いい
席を
です
取りました。
ね。ね。
あれ
Swimming through the stage, much quicker to go through a water stage when holding an item.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for
そうですね、
whatever
ワー
reason,
プはしないで
I
す。
don't
その
understand the physics of it, but for some reason holding an
まあ
item
一面ずつ
同じようにしたも設置判定が
まあワールド
あったりなかったりす
Holding
る
an
の
item
で
is actually going to play a bit of
一
a
面ずつ
role
クリアしてい
in
きます
Forced Evolution 2, where the item you're going to pick up very carefully need to grab that, otherwise it's a major time loss.
ただし、まあそのステージの一発でクリアできるショートカットなどは、まあ利用していく感じですね。
It's so close.
そんなにないんですけど。
So after this ghost house, just focusing on Truman for a moment, right after this ghost house, we're going to have two quick levels that are
使っていきましたね。
flyovers,
は
not
い。
too painful, not too big of a
さあ
variance.
ということで裏口脱出ということで。
But right after that, we're going to see probably one of the more technical early levels in the game, which is Morton's Castle. Morton's Castle can be a huge difference between skilled and unskilled runners. And even really skilled runners, it's very easy to make small mistakes. It'll lose you quite a lot of time in that castle. So I'm looking forward to seeing what strats these guys choose and how well they're able to
ヨッ
execute
シーアイランドはなかったですね、今回は。うん。
In Morton's Castle, there's some moving.
あ
The walls move in
と
and
ちょ
out.
っと
and
左
essentially,
下
if you don't hit the proper
ボ
cycle,
ーナスポイント
you're
取ったので
gonna
若干のロスです。
そうですね
若干の本当の中で
Yeah,
すけど。
every single cycle that you lose in Morton's Castle can make a difference of up to 17 seconds.
Yeah.
Dot's getting 40 stars, a shame there. So every time you go through the end of the level, unless it's a castle or a ghost house, you're going to pass through a gate. Now, if you hit the pole on the gate, you're going to get so many stars according to where you hit it. You do
マン
not
トがあると
want to
本当
get
一瞬でマップ終わっちゃう
100 bonus
から
stars, otherwise you enter a very slow bonus game.
Definitely. You notice one issue right there with Dots. He was trying to go through that door. Doors are a little bit fickle in Super Mario World. If you're running at full speed, it's a 3-frame input to put in a door input. So you'll see runners
そう
sometimes either
も
slow
う大体
down
もうこの右上
or
の
just
右上とか左上
entirely,
みたいなねこのマントでウィーンウィーンっつってこう
Right here, Truman's going to be picking
あ、
up a
来
Yoshi.
ちゃいましたね、ヨッシー。
相棒ですね。最高の相棒ですけど。
Coming up, there's going to be a glitch that he's going to perform.
なんでわざわざ
The very first stage of the
ヨッシーを取りに行ったの
and
か。
that's going to allow him to save
これは見ておきましょう。
263 for Aaron. That means he had the fastest flight speed possible coming out of Donut Plains 3.
You could see Aaron like just clearly staring at the screen, looking at the backgrounds, trying to make sure he could set his flight speed just as.
And
just
Dot's
the
also
right
getting a
amount.
263. You can tell that these runners really know what they're doing when it comes to obtain the fastest flight speed. It's very subtle. Visually, it's hard to tell the difference.
さあ、この城は見どころみたいです
Somebody
ね。
who's casually run this game a bit, I don't even know how they see it, but it's an acquired skill for sure. Here we see Truman doing Morton fly. He's doing these spin flies and has to meet this
どんどん
exact
上に
cycle. He's also trying to
上に
get
落ちていく
his
感じは
spring
なんか
barrel
悪魔
all the
城を
way up to the
放
top
出
of
さ
the
せま
board.
すからね。この
上に登る速度が速い。降りるより速い可能性が。
Springboard's a good idea because with the absence of the green switch, you have to perform a one-tile fly.
まあ上に落ちる変態っていう。
Great
That
job,
was a
by
great
Truman.
Morton's Castle. Great Morton's Castle.
いや、ちゃんと炎調整で一回踏むだけで死にま
We're
す
going to
ね
see。Aaron and Dots both get an opportunity to go in there while we watch Truman get this cutscene. I expect to see mostly the same.
あ、こんにちは。
While Dots and Aaron show us exactly what we just saw, I do want to take just a quick moment because there's a big glitch that's about to happen. So I want to explain what it is. You can use Yoshi wings to end a level early in stages that they're available in. But they're not available
なんか
in
ワ
very
ープレ
many
スって書いてあるんで
stages.
す
So
けど、
one
あ、そっ
option
か。
is
そ
you
の
can duplicate
スー
blocks
パー
in
マ
very
リオワール
specific
ドだけ
ways,
の
glitch
カテゴリーで言うと
the
どう
game
な
and
るんだ
giving
ろ
you
う。
Yoshi wings that aren't meant to be there. So what you're going to see these runners
あっ
doing,
とちょっと
and I have to explain
マネジャン
fast
プを
because
失
it's about to
敗
happen
してし
faster
まっ
than you
て、
can.
左踏みたい。
マント。
Aaron dying at the top.
とあと
That's a very
フラワーも
そうですね
失ったので結構痛いですよこれ。
block duplications that happen. That's going to allow one of the blocks to change
さあ、
its
これで
properties
左
in
下
order to
が
have Yoshi wings inside them. Alright, so the first step is that he needs to grab the Yoshi coin, and now there's a glitched block there.
あ、いいですね。ちょっと右上が。
怪しいことやってますね。何か儀式をしていますが。
あ、できた。出てきましたね。あっと危ない。
Oh,
あ
はい。
ー、何かを作り出しま
not
し
as
たね。
smooth as you'd like, but still saving time considerably overall, going through the actual intended path through that stage.
Yeah, between doing the rest of the stage and the 10 seconds of fanfare that you get anytime you go through an exit gate, that can save about, I think, 40 seconds.
Dots coming up here on the same trick.
ワープはしていない。
遠近術ですね。
So Truman's trying to hold on to the shell. It's very easy to accidentally run the
ゴール
shell
を
into
通過してとか
the
そういうのも
enemy
書いてないので
instantly.
ね。
He's trying to drop the shell in front of him
ブロックを作り出してますね。
in order to kill an enemy and then use that and re-grab that
は
shell.
い、うまいですね。
Dots
安
catching
定
up
して
a
ま
bit
す
of
ね、こ
time
れ。
getting that
That was
早い。
considerably quicker
That
than
was excellent.
Truman did.
ここで羽を作ってもらったの
Time
で
on。
そ
the
し
clock
て
grabbing
置い
those
て帰
wings
れる
for
ヨッシー。
371. That's really excellent work.
Yeah, just decreasing that gap even more between the two teams.
そうですね、左上は、ちょっとどうしても羽を使う盤面があるので、
Coming up on
それを
the
こう
same
回収するので、こ
level
こ
in a moment. The death in Morton's obviously costing a pretty decent amount of time, but he's got his
まあ
cape
この
back.
儀式を行う
He had
ス
to
ピードもね、
backtrack a
ち
bit
ょ
and
っ
go
と
get back
注
into the
目
cape
ですね
because。of some of the strats in these levels.
Yeah, there's definitely still a lot of room for position change.
Definitely.
We have a $200 donation from Bucket of Beef that says, Go Team Boom
ス
Boom.
ーパーメトロイドもよく見たら、西部の方がまた1000ドルほどか。
これは戦いになってますね。
あとマリモが空を飛ん
A
でます。
technique there called sticky fly. If you pull up right against the ceiling in just the right way, you can actually, Mario will stick to it across the entirety of the ceiling.
What's the swag rating on that trick?
Not very high.
No. Okay. Just keep us posted on
6
that.
out
if
of
you
10.
can. Oh, that's not bad.
It's better than average.
Yeah.
さあ、まだちょっと儀式を。
早いな。
Alright, so there are a lot of
儀式
options
準備
that
中
Truman
で。
has right now. You know, he has a little bit of a
はい
lead, so he can
儀式う
really
まいですね。
ここまでは早いです。
374 wins
お
for Aaron.
ー。
Very nice.
も
So you
う
got the initial
発生して
flight.
すぐ取りましたね。
Getting that flight speed there actually can be very challenging, so impressive that he pulled it off.
この左側の上と下はもう頻繁に入れ替わりを繰り返してるので。
おっと、大ミス。
ここで
over trying to see what
保険を使ってしまった。
what happens to Truman so that he can kind of react with his own strats. And he's doing the raft skip.
おー、うまい。
おお。
Wow. What was the swag level on that trick?
That's an 11 out of 10.
Wow.
That is an extremely risky trick. It saves quite a lot of time. It is very challenging to pull off too. It combines like 3 or 4 different glitches into one.
いや、左下もうまいな。
Really a big boom for Team Boom Boom there, just being able to pick up that time. We'll
That's
see
about
if Dots tries.
that's about 7 seconds faster than the safest strat. I think another 4 seconds faster than the typical raft fly that strong runners would choose.
Dots still not having to do any strats that he doesn't want to do.
いや、でも左下も決めていきますね。
Time in this run,
Absolutely.
So we'll see what he ends up doing here.
Dots is making a smart choice right now of picking the much more consistent and
ヨッ
really
シー
not
に
a
乗りな
huge
がら
time
スイー
difference.
って上がっていくのもやっぱりシュールですが、まあこのゲームな
He's
らで
able
は
to
です
make
ね
it。through there with almost 100% certainty, and it really isn't a huge difference. sometimes.
Considerably less swag, though.
Considerably
less.
So the next castle coming up is one that you would not see in the No Star World route. This is Lemmy's castle.
やっぱりマリオワールドはそこそこ時間かかりそうですね、これは。
Magic Koopa can be a real
それ
pain,
が
but
3
not
よりか
defeating
は
Magic
かから
Koopa
な
at
い
the
ですね、
beginning
どうしても。
makes the strategy
時
a
数の
bit
関
more
係
difficult on
上。
Truman. Seems to be having
と、あ
no
とは
problems
ま
with
あ
it though. Nice
仁義
for
がある
one.
せい
Yeah,
で
there are consistent setups there for making sure that you don't end up getting screwed over by Magic Koopa. All right, we see Aaron right now going into VD3. He gets his pick. You know, he can go for some really risky strats to try to make up that time, or he can just try to basically
Sayonara.
continue along
Hi,
and hope
Sayonara.
that Truman and Dots make some error. So this stage right here, you know, in a manner of speaking, it can be considered an auto-scroller. You do have to wait on some of these cycles here, but you can skip quite a lot of them, and Truman did a great job with that.
ここもランダム要素がで近くで出てくれれば嬉しいかなと。
We have a $500 donation from BK that says, "Good luck, Aaron, Truman, and Dots. Off good game. Team Boom Boom, Team Resnar, and Team
ここで
Birdo."
次は3のステージに。
ちょっと隙がないですね。追いつけないな、これは。
We probably have time for a couple more donations.
No problem. We have a $40 donation from Ballistic Buddha that says, "Shoutouts to the Yoshi Bongos." We have a $10 donation from Simon W that says, "Good luck to Truman from all the way back home. Remember to be speedy quick and make your heart proud." We have a $200 donation from Pat D that
左
says,
下も
"Go
割と近いところ
Team
に出てくれる。ちょっと
Resnar."
早いかな。
Truman representing the state of Ohio, which actually doesn't have anything else to do in it but speedrunning, from what I can tell. A lot of speedrunners from Ohio.
ですね、序盤、中盤と今この終盤なんですけど、全く隙がないですね、右上のチームは。
So that stage looks challenging for everything to line up, but this is another instance of you almost have to imagine that the designers of Super Mario World had sort of speedrunning in mind, because it just feels like everything lines up perfectly. Truman is probably going to go for a really crazy strat here. Yep.
I like that idea.
Okay.
さあ、
So he's going to bail
So,
out of that
so,
strat right
so,
there.
so,
He was
Yoshi
setting
が
up for a strat called Cookie Mountain Boss Kill. You spawn a
ヨッシーが
glitched, fake, whatever you want to call it, Koopa Kid through a
ちょっと
series
右
of
が怪し
really
いことしました
complicated
が、
glitches and timings, and then you kill it with fire and jump back on Yoshi, and the stage ends as if you've just beaten a castle.
Yeah, this game has a lot of very
あ、
broken
失敗か。
aspects to it, especially when it comes to like ace categories. You can, what's the quickest time you can beat
ちょっと
this
失
game?
敗しましたね、今の。
Current world record is
さあ
ここちょっと左下が成功すると、ちょっともしかしたら
A、lot of different weird stuff that you can glitch in there.
カメラを右に寄せて
all right. So Dots is going for it
と
now.、 he missed a part of the glitch called double tongue. So he wasn't in the glitch state that would have allowed him to try it. So he's just going to continue on.
Not losing too much time for either of them to
Dots
try
has chosen to activate Yoshi Flight, an interesting mechanic where he's able to fly as if he's just
どうな
riding
ったら成功なんだろう。
normal, but he has
わかんないな、
Yoshi
俺には。
The reason he keeps sticking out his tongue is so that
さあ、あ
Yoshi
とは
doesn't
左上
turn
の
around. Yoshi's
人し
actually
か
not capable of
見る
facing
とこ
the
ろはない
other
んですよ。
direction, while his tongue is out.
チャンスとして。
Really difficult room Truman doing here. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so this room right here that Truman just got done with, and that you'll see from Dots in a minute, requires a pretty good understanding of how your cape mechanics work, because it basically relies heavily on manipulating your flight timers to sort of line up in the right way. I'm not sure whether or not Dots will go for that strat or whether or not he'll just take the early fire flower and do it without cape. This is a pretty common
ワールドの特徴としてこのカメラを寄せるっていうのでかなりこれで悪さができるので
It's interesting to see the difference in approaches here between Dots and Truman. Truman kind of going for some
成功
riskier
者が
strats. Dots playing a little bit more
出るかな。
conservatively. It'll be interesting to see who
まああと
finishes
す
on
ると
top
したら
of that.
左上だけですが同じとこですよ
One of the costliest bosses here to not have a fire flower for saves about how much time?
The fire flower for this one, I think it takes about 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more. So coming up in this next stage, Truman is probably going to be going for Forest of Illusion.
左上はも
He's going to do the same
儀式を行わずに
a
飛
similar
行で
block duplication
ステー
to
ジを
what
ク
we
リア
saw
しちゃ
in
うそう
Vanilla Dome
です
1,
ねこれ
where
は
he duplicated a few blocks, and then we saw Yoshi wings that we weren't expecting. In this case, he's actually, instead of needing to create a glitched wings block, he's going to make use of the P-balloon block because of a strange property with the P-balloon blocks, which is that they're actually the same exact block as wings blocks, just based on what their X position is. So he's going to duplicate a block off to the side in hopes of getting Yoshi wings. But he's unfortunately going to have to do it over a pit.
あーっと
Not able to pull that.
来るか
He could have tried it
違うのが出
again,
たな。
but he lost the
Lost the shell.
shell.
すぐ
so it's
諦め
better
ましたね。
off just to move on. It
はい
doesn't lose a lot of time going for that. And honestly,
ちょっと
you
連
don't
携時
save a lot of
失敗しました
time
ね
going for it either, but it's a really interesting strat, and done optimally, you can save up to 7 seconds. So
What's the swag rating of that strat?
pretty high. I think it's pretty high anytime you have a strat that saves very little time, but you know,
一発で出ない
can
と
fail
全然
catastrophically.
短縮ならもうすぐゴールですからね。
So once again, in the reputation of
うん
Super
左下は
Mario,
もう
we
し
have
な
another
い
stage
です
with
ね
glitch. Truman is going to try to clip out of bounds using his Yoshi.
First try.
First
Try every time.
First try.
あ
Give me a big
あ入って
reset
しまいま
point
し
for a
た
lot of runners. There's an
壁の
RNG
中にいる。
factor where you can get pushed out attempting that clip, and there's not
そ
much
して
you
さ
can
らに
do
加
about
速を
it.
してい
So,
く
but
壁の中で
it's
加速をする変
execution
態
and
ですね。
luck, and Truman getting it first try there is
All right,
really
well,
good for his
Aaron
team.
is just now wrapping up Ludwig's Castle, and we're going to be seeing him going into
で
Forest
本
of
当だったら
Illusion
左
on
に刺せばいいんですけど
うん
コピーとバンド
鍵を
That's
持
the
って
RNG we're talking about. Dots pulling it off, but getting pushed
その
out.
この鍵をね、
Yeah,
さあ
unfortunately,
刺すんでしょうか。
clipping out of bounds.
刺さない
Second。try is really
Great job.
fine though.
Unfortunately for this strat, it's
ということで
actually
ヨッシーはここでまたしば
possible
ら
to
く
manipulate the RNG in your favor.
よっし
But
ー。
you
で
can
いいところに
never
ブロ
end
ッ
up
ク
in
が
a
あるのでそ
situation
の
where
ビート
you
ワ
have
ンと
100% chance of success.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate because that makes it a huge reset point for a lot of runners.
少なくても
There's been
3体のヨッシ
quite
ー
a
が
lot
こ
of
こで捨て
runs,
られる
everyone
でしょう。
has their war stories of being on fantastic PB pace and then getting knocked out of the wall 10 times in a row, and there goes, you know, a full minute.
Yeah, and that clip saves a considerable amount of time. I mean, this is a
Does.
long, winding swimming level that takes a long time to do as intended. There is a easier clip you can do, and you could learn at home probably
左上
in
もやら
5
ないか
minutes.
な。
But that's still 30 seconds short, longer.
ですもうすぐ通り過ぎたので
Absolutely.
Now, coming up on the next level on Truman's
ここ
side,
を
he's about
回
to
収
perform
し
what we
て
call a Roy Fly. He'll
おっと
have
ちょっと
to
処理
perform
落ち
flight in between the middle of a bunch of potatos, has to perform the dive
Yeah,
at the exact
この
right time, otherwise it's into the lava.
こ
All
の
right, so
動
we
き
have
は
Aaron here going
します
for
ね
Forest of Illusion 1 wings.
一回はチャレンジ
であったうまい
Yeah.
Gets
Oh,
the wings, and he grabs them. Great job.
連携成功ですね
Really well done. So this stage, it's intended that you ride the block snake at the bottom, and it's an extremely slow block snake and
見
very
せます
difficult.
ね。
But with some very careful use of your cape, you can actually avoid all of the obstacles that are in your way.
One of the most satisfying tricks in SMW to learn, I think, just because it looks so cool. And it's not as hard
はい
as it.
そし
よっ
てまた
しー。 ヨッシーが
ヨッシーがまた
ヨッシー
Aaron getting the clip very easily in Forced Evolution too.
Wow.
Great job, Aaron.
Only one addition
よくもやったな。
3 runners is really impressive. Dot's doing a Roy Fly now,
リップ
making it look easy.
Another great Roy fly from Dots.
出ちゃったけど、まあ
I don't know if
しょう
that
が
was
な
on
いか。
purpose or not, but it made me scared.
下から行かないで上から行く感じですかね。
Nice. Nicely done.
World 5 in Super Mario World is very much a sticking point for runners. We were talking about that. Everything seems to be going well so far for all of these runners.
さあ
Absolutely. I mean,
右上
we're
が
probably like 15 seconds apart, 20 seconds apart, maybe. What coming up off in Sky do you think could possibly sway the game in anybody's favor?
Well, right now, Truman is going for a stage, and I'm going to go ahead and prepare you. It is very high on the swag rating.
Okay.
The reason for that is because it saves 1 in-game second if you succeed, and loses quite a lot of time if you fail it. But fortunately, it's quite free. You'll notice that Truman is now flying through the stage much faster than he should be capable of doing. But it's because he was able to conserve his flight trigger as he goes through the pipe cannon, so it fired him out at a much faster speed and allowed him to
まあ一応ヨッシーの
fly on the other
卵を回収するっていうのが
As
一応
far as stages that we
冒
can
険
see
の
that
目
might
的だ
cause
から
some problems, World 7 or World 6 Castle is definitely a huge issue for a lot of runners. It's very challenging to pull off.
マリオワールドがヨッシー初登場ですよね、確かね。
Have some trouble. It's very difficult.
で卵を回収していくんですけど、まあそれを
So Aaron's going to
依頼があるのである程度命をかけてもらってるというのを
incredibly challenging.
It takes just one
あの
correctly performed pump to
右上はマリオが見えなかったですね、しばらく。
losing your game.
Yeah, it's very subtle movement differences that can make a huge issue for that technique. You end up flying through that room, bonking your head on the ceilings at
まあ
a very specific
この
time.
マリオワールド
The issue
で
with that is
こう
that,
いう扱いを受けたから、ヨッシーはほらピンでね、仕事がもらえたわけですよ。やはりその後で体を張ってこのマリオワールドで活躍したおかげでね、体を張ったおかげでヨッシーアイランドとかね、そういうピン芸人としてデビューできたわけですよ。下積み時代です。
まあただしベビーマリオとかの介護でまたちょっと介護をする仕事もまたちょっと増えているはずです。
And the reason for that is he needs to hold on to that all the way up to Valley of Bowser 2, where he's going to use actual real Yoshi wings this time, intended by the
ファイヤーがない分
Wow.
サンクス。日本人だからな。I'm Japanese。島を持ちクッキーを作り、パネルをポンして毛玉になり、毛糸になり。いやいやいやいや。結構だからね、ヨッシーはあれですよ。成功した感じですよ。いやマリオはね、任天堂さんからもだいぶ多くね、仕事もらえてますから、このおかげ
It's
で。
not a situation that a lot of runners are used to. So
マリオはもうかなり稼いでますか
チョコレートってあれですね。
Change levels that runners are really used to.
ランダムなんですけど、
New wrinkles to them, especially World 5 here is a big, a
時
big
間
one
に
for
決まっ
that.
てるんだっ
It's,
たかな。
all castles one compared to No Star World.
right. Yeah, that's a big issue with Super Mario World is that the variety of different states the level can be in, whether or not you have Cape, whether or not you have Yoshi, whether or not you've beaten Special World, whether or not you've hit certain Switch Palaces, makes it really easy for just subtle changes in the route or changes in the goals.
冠番組がね、
Completely different categories.
マリオの方が多いですけど。
Nice pipe fly by Aaron.
Definitely.
ルイージはね、ちょっ
As
と
we
そ
come to
の
the end
あれ
of
で
this
す
relay,
ね。
I do just want to encourage everybody to just go through the list of the people running in this relay.
まあ
and just
チャゲ
follow them all.
アスカで
They're all
言う
really
と
great
チャゲ
runners.
ポジショ
I
ン。
watch almost all of them on a regular basis, and they're just, so talented. I think you guys could probably all notice that from how close this race is up to this point.
So interesting to note here about Choco Ghost House. To stay above this fishing boo in the middle of the stage is really difficult. What you don't see is there's a pipe.
Ooh. Now we may be seeing some catching up from Team Birdo here with
いやいやいや
Truman losing
いや
Cage.
一応無罪になったんで
Yeah,
大
he's
丈
going to
夫。
have to choose a slightly different strategy here. He was trying to cape cancel Okay. Just wanted to hold my breath for that.
Visions of what game I could choose Author Blues is just running through his head as he looks there. Both in the same castle now, getting even closer.
And this is a clear opportunity for Dots to close the gap just a little bit. He's still got his cape. He's got the opportunity now to close this gap quite a lot.
So where will Truman be getting a new cape?
Well, the very next stage, right at the beginning of it, there's another cape for him, and that won't be a huge problem. But
例によっ
playing
て
this
また
castle
潜ら
without
た
cape,
時
I mean, hands down in any no cape, no Star World category.
ちょっとい
or in any
いけない
no Star World run,
いけ
もしかしたらここで
いけませんでした。
かなり縮むかな。
As you see Dots kind of
これね、
flying through a lot of those
並んじゃいましたね。
cycles that you
ちょ
normally
っ
would
と
have to platform through.
近い
Both of them on the same boss screen at the
さあ
same
この運
time.
要素で
Getting
巻いてい
big
く。
closer.
近い全部近い
Nice. I mean, we are under
さあ盛
20
り上がって
seconds
まいりまし
apart, I
た。
think.
I don't think any of these players are going
こ
to
れは
stand
ワ
our
ンミス
flip.
で引っかかるね、
No,
抜かれ
probably
る
not.
感じですか
Would
ね、
take
ベ
a
ガ。
completely different direction. So coming up right now,
一回
we've got them going into some
遠すぎて外したのが
negotiations.
でかい
It's
です
a
ね
relatively。long level, but the nice thing is all these runners
引きが良か
are
ったですね
really
左下
confident
本当
at 96 exit. I would say that
ちなみにルイージはいないんですけど、ルイージって呼ばれてます
Aaron, their preferred category, and Aaron's still really competent.
もう公式すらちゃんと名前を呼んでもらえてない
Yoshi is sort of like the default expectation for this stage. That's the default approach to this stage, and so
ルイージですね。
I think that they're not going to have any trouble with that going forward. Even going into Valley of Bowser 1, having a Yoshi is going to be a welcome reality.
Do you want to explain how they despawn this boo ring coming up?
Yeah, hopefully that's what we're going to see. So these boo clouds,
さあヨッシーを
you'll
生かしてお
notice
くこと
Truman
によ
just
って
knocked
こういう
himself
ふうに
off
来
a
る
Yoshi
ヨッ
twice.
シ
That
ー
was
当て逃げです
intentional,
ね。
and you'll see Dots and Aaron do the same. He's basically trying to time out how the boo cloud
ここまで来れ
despawns
ば
itself. You'll notice that
3
it
パターン
fades
ぐらい
in
しか
and
ないの
fades
でこの
out.
幽霊
There's a
は
certain trigger in the stage
幽
where
霊
the
抜
boo
けられ
cloud
る
is
ので
supposed to stop appearing. But if you can get the boo cloud to appear one more time, you
Well
can
done.
despawn a boo ring that's right where he is right now. It's supposed to complement the
こうな
other
って
boo
く
ring
る
that
と
you're seeing
左
right
下と
now.
右上の
But basically what you want to do is you want to make the boo ring last, or the boo cloud
ちょっ
last
とした
as
差
long
で
as
も
possible, so that it despawns at the right time to take the boo ring with
若
it.
干
Both Aaron,
若
or both
干差が
Truman
広
and
がっ
Dots
たか。
despawning the boo ring with no issue there.
まあでも変わらないか。
Probably making the smart choice to not do the cape
Crusher
cancel
skip.
through the crusher. It's pretty consistent, but there are some flight speeds where just no matter what you do,
あっ使ってしまっ
there are
た
some flight speeds where no matter what he does, he ends up in a
Only one.
situation where he can
ここは盛り上がるとこ
where
ろ
he
なんで
won't
す
make
ね。
the crusher skip.
Or
I heard.
さあ若干差が。まあミスしたら抜かれますが、しなければちょっと厳しい。
でどこのヨッシー
With the
の
amount of
ところ
time
に入
that's
ってるん
between
ですかね
Aaron and the other runners, we're probably going to see all three of them in the Bowser fight at the same time. It's incredibly likely that that's going to end up being where we are.
That's crazy.
Especially if either of these two end up making even a single mistake throughout the course of the rest of this run. We're going to see all three runners on the final boss of the final game at the same time. I think that's amazing.
5 games in.
We have a $50 donation from Audie's that says, I always prefer to donate during Mario runs at GDQ. Gotta love the plumber and friends. Kill
まあ
the
最短でいく
Bowsers.
と上
Save the
左
animals.
上と
Except the Yoshis.
So right here, Truman's going to take
10秒
Yoshi through this room, and he's going
12、3
to
秒ぐらいですかね。
get the Yoshi wings in the next room to end this stage early. As mentioned before, Yoshi wings obtain the normal exit of whatever stage you.
でさらばヨッシー
He's going to leave the Yoshi
ここで
behind.
3体目のヨッシーが
Another nice part about the All Castles run versus the No Star World run is there's a trick called Sandbar Clip there that is probably the most difficult trick in the run, or one of the most
差がない。
difficult. It's right at the end of the run. All Castles, we don't have that run
差がないな。
coming up here, which is really nice. I wouldn't want to see a 5-game race come down to one trick. That's really difficult to pull off.
All right, let's see how he gets up to this key right here. And a clean
Nice.
slide through.
うまいな。
Fantastic.
And Dots gets door fly
Dots
out of
went
the
for door
door.
fly. So Dots did a slightly different setup. He
お
maintained his
うまく
flight
いきました
trigger
左
あー
様
ちょっと
through
引っか
the
かっ
door. Wonderful job. He maintained his flight trigger through the door in the first room and opted to fly through the stage. All right, so Truman just took a moment to scroll the screen to the left. That was an intentional time loss.
羽があるので移動床は待たなくていいですね
Skip the first two pencils, the skewers. Scrolls the screen back again. Oh my god.
Wow. Really, really good job.
That was an amazing. This room in the entirety of the game is probably one of the most challenging and
いや
technical
ーちょっと左下はやってしまいましたけど
Truman just pulled
ま
off
あ
the
あーこ
fastest
れは
variant of that stage.
Dots losing 2 capes.
これはでもまずいですね。
I'm thinking door 3 for
どうすんだろう
Yeah, Dots
羽
will
は。
almost certainly be taking door 3 in Bowser's
いい
Castle.
しかしワンターンで
It's a slight departure from what you would see from a lot of speedruns, but by having door 3, he can pick up an
う
extra
ーん
cape.
ちょっとここ
Or
で
in
羽
this
と
case,
か
a
失うの
cape.
は痛いかな
Truman is going to actually have the benefit from having both capes to be able to take also a slightly different route through
すぐリ
Bowser's
カバリー
Castle
で
than
き
a
れ
lot
ばい
of
いんですけ
people
ど
see.
でも差がね
Oh, you don't have both?
せない分なのとあと
Oh, no, never mind.
No door 5 this time.
You know what? Don't worry about me.
This is Truman's race
で
to
もこの
lose
差だ
now
っ
for
た
Team
ら
Boom
なんと
Boom.
か
He's got
そのま
a
ま
considerable
行
lead
ってしまいたい
here, and as long as everything
で
goes
す
well
が
for
やはり
Bowser,
こうやってマ
Team
ッ
Boom
プ
Boom
を
win first.
マントを使
So
っ
he's
て
going to be
ね
going through
移動で
door
きなくなっちゃう
7
の
in
で
this case.
あ行きますね
行っちゃう
Unable to maintain his speed to get fly early on in the room, but
途中で
covered nicely.
Definitely.
うんちょっとステージ選択を変えますね
The dark room, no reason to turn on the lights. That takes time.
It also lags the game a little bit.
よく知ってん
It is
な
like a disco light, so
こう難しいで
We're
すよ
not
ね
here for a party.
はい
Yeah.
で隠し
okay.
の花を
Truman
回収
going on into Bowser.
So Dots went and grabbed the hidden
さあラ
cape
スボス
that's
で
in that
す
stage.
おっとなんか来客だちょっと失礼
はい
Oh,
Oh, that's
お
tough.
ーしかしまた当たってしまうしかしあとちょっとなんでねしかしもうクッパまで行ってしまうと
the normal operation for this fight is you want to get the Mega Koopas and then you want to drop them on Bowser's Castle.
上がミスしない限りは厳しい
You
で
can
すかね
save quite a bit of time actually by hitting the Mecha Koopas right as Bowser throws them out, so they hit him right on his head as he's throwing them, and that's a pretty significant time save. Optimal non-cape kill versus optimal cape kill is something.
あの
like
子供の
12 seconds
クッパを
different, so,
ちゃんと維持してま
it
す
really
ね
does add up.
メカクッパか
はいどうも
Truman's going here for
隙がないんだよな
we refer to as ball skip.
というのも
This
多分こ
phase
こからも
right
変わらない
here,
ですからね
Bowser drops two bowling balls. But if you drop the second Mecha Koopa, or if you drop that Mecha Koopa on his head right as he's stopping to drop the second bowling ball, he like forgets.
there's no way he has room for that bowling ball in there. Truman going into the last phase of Bowser now.
まあ来客はもうすぐ終わらせたのでいやーもうパワーアップアイテム
Time
分
is
の
going to be when
スピードをもう
Peach
短
appears
縮させて
coming
ます
out
ね
of Bowser's clown car.
いらん
We're very close.
Dot's also going for ball skip here. You don't need to have cape to go for it. Looks like you pulled that off
終
correctly.
わりまし
There
た
we go.
And Truman finishes off
勝てなかったか。
Bowser. Team Boom Boom wins.
Right there.
やっぱり右上にほぼ安定してましたから
All right,
いやー
Dots
予
is
定
still
時間より
heading
も
into the
10分
third
巻いて
phase
きま
of
したね
Bowser, right as Aaron's going to be entering Bowser's castle. So we're
いやー
actually
おめでとうございますさあ左上ももう少し
Aaron's
です
going
ね
to be entering Bowser's castle with both of his capes, which means we may actually get to see the really cool strategy in door 5. I'm not sure whether or not he's going to go for it or stick with what he feels more comfortable with. He is a very skilled any
Team
percent
Boom
runner,
Boom
and he may feel more confident in door 7.
はいそして左下も終了です
Oh, he's going for it
Nice.
right here. He's going for the damage boost.
GG さああとは左上が頑張ってほしい
Just
です
enough
ね
items to get past.
That saves a pretty significant amount of time over doing door 5 the normal way, and saves time even over doing door 7 the normal way that you would see from a speedrunner.
All eyes on Team
さあ
Restream.
左上も
Come on,
ラ
Aaron,
ス
bring
ト
it
バトル
home.
ですよ
Finish
ね。
this off, Aaron.
Come on.
すげえな、このマリオだけでいくらドネートされてんだ。
今回だけでもう
寄付金がすげ
This
え
has。been an incredibly close relay. It's so hard to believe that after 5 games, we're going to end up with all of our teams ending within 4 minutes of one another. I think that that's just unbelievable and speaks volumes to the skill and consistency of runners that we have here today.
100%. There's not one runner in this marathon that you should not be following. This race was really amazing, and
If
honestly,
you like
it's so
Mario
impressive.
games, these are your people. 15 of the top
まあ
2D Mario runners.
まあ左上はディスクシステムでやっ
Many
た
of them run a
分
variety of
ちょ
these
っと遅く
games
なっ
and
ちゃった
not
可能
just
性が
the one Mario game.
So yeah, guys, once again, major shout outs to all of these amazing runners and shout outs to our couch commentators giving such great entertainment. Also, major shout outs to our tech and audio crew
Ah,外した。
for getting this all set up for you guys.
2つ当てたいのかな。
No big deal.
NBD, as the kids say.
What happened to him was actually a very common mistake. If you turn around, if you don't turn around before you touch the side of the screen for the first hit in the second phase, you can accidentally pull Mario away from the wall, which you would have no way of really knowing that that's
キノコ
happening,
あ、取った。
just because of the fact that he's off screen at the time. So it's very easy to drop the Mecha Koopa and not realize that
で
you're not dropping it.
右上はまあ被害者の会が開かれてます。あー惜しい。あー惜しい今の。最後の最後で頑張りましたが終わりです。
イエーイ。スタンディングオベーションですね。イエーイ。いやー、見応えありましたね。ほぼ差がなくて。
Team Berto with 244.23 and congrats to Team Boom Boom for 243.40.
でもやっぱり目標タイムよりかなり巻いてクリアできたので、
そうですね。2時間55分の基準だったんですけど、大幅にね、どのチームも巻いてきましたね。
いやドネートもなんかすごい加速しました。
まあ今下のバーでね見えてると思いますけど、あ、消えちゃったか。
で今セーブがまた勝ってますけ
Fantastic
ど
job, guys.
1200の差か。
まあ
Definitely
こ
one
の
of the
後の
most
スーパーメトロイドのね
interesting relay races I've ever seen. This is
ルートを
Summer Quake
このドネートで決めちゃ
2017.
おうっていう。
And after this, we have Metroid Fusion.
まあ一応このままだと多分生存ルートで。
まあもう一作品あるん
I'm
で
gonna go
メトロイド
ahead
フュージョンが
and
この後あり
we're
ま
gonna
す
kick it off to a sponsor with Twitch. Please stay tuned.
さあ師匠の運命はいかに。
まあ 0% か 100% かね、どっちになるのやら。まあ凄まじい金額が動いてますね。
多分このマリオだけで5万以上は動いてましたよね。
まあ毎年盛り上がってるみたいですよ、このこのドネートは。 まあね、席埋まってましたしね。
まあ多分テレビカメラも本当に入ってますね。こっちはあんまり確かにメトロイドってそんなに効かないと言いますか熱量が全然違いますから。
Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2017. I just wanted to let you guys know that we just got a new incentive, a bonus game, if you will, which will replace our setup block number 4 with any % with kiln skip run of Dark Souls by Bubbles del Fuego. If you want this bonus game to happen, we need $50,000. And right now, some people are already donating. We have 1,700 right now. So if you want to see some more Dark Souls, go ahead and donate now.
%になりそうですね。100% と0%は。
And we are still not yet with our incentive for Final Fantasy VII Omni/Sephiroth. We're at $20,000. We're at 17,000. So, you know, if you want Spike Vegeta to be really awesome and beat Sephiroth with a really cool move, because let's be honest, he's got to go in style. Donate now. I'm going to read a couple of donations that obviously I did not get to go through. I apologize. We had a lot. We actually had a $4,500 donation from Edward. I may be as old as this franchise, but Mario games are still amongst my favorite games. I will probably miss the run, but put this money towards Spike, giving Sephiroth the omniest of slashes.
6時間ですかね。これとキングダムハーツで合わせて。
お疲れ様でした。
はい。まあ最後の方はもうなんか一緒に見てただけなんですけど、まあやりたかったことはまあやったので、
ゆっくりあとは普通に見てください。
はい。
解説
ゆっくり見させていただきますので、はい、すいませんこちらもじゃあこそちょっとありがとう。と言わせていただきます。
お疲れ様でした。解説ありがとうございました。
はい。じゃあ視聴者の皆さんも、引き続きまたお楽しみをお願いします。ということで私は失礼させていただきます。お疲れ様でした。
Donation goes to naming Sid a solo Q after his amazing splasher run this morning. Remember, Pooh, no spaghetti today. Pooh love. We have a $200 donation from Tuxedo Junction that says, keep it classy. We shall. $100 from Turtle Freak that says, just wanted to show my support during the Mario Relay. Good luck to all the teams. $100 from Loop that says, I've been looking forward to this Super Mario Relay race all week long. Finally. Little Birdie donates $100 saying, this makes my heart happy. Thank you. We have a $1,000 donation from Nero7. Got another one. Keep them coming. A great cause, great games, and amazing runners. What an amazing thing to watch. $200 from Kurtoon that says, you guys rock. $25 from Anonymous that says, shout out to Darbian and Kirua that says, you two are part of why I started learning speedrunning. We have a $150 donation from Corey41 that says, save the animals, you monsters.
さあどっちのルートになるのか、まあ始まってから決まると思いますから。まあ今レースがあったんでそれの片付けもあるのでちょっと時間かかるかもしれませんね。なので今のうちトイレ行ってくのはありですよ。トイレ。
Gee, it sure was nice of GDQ to give me another hosting shift, eh, Luigi?
I hope they have lots of donations.
What up, GDQ? It's your boy Mike Feedback, back once again to host this surprise fusion run with JRP. I'm covering for a shift, so it's great to be back, and I am excited as hell to see you all once again. So GDQ chat, great to be back. Let's go ahead and get down to business, though, shall we? We have a $50
メトロイドに詳しい人
donation
来ないかな。
Congratulations to a fantastic Super Mario
メ
Relay
トロイド
race
フュー
by
ジ
all
ョン
runners. It was a thrill to watch start to finish. Now I'm looking forward
メ
to
ト
the
ロイド
Metroid
フュージョン
Fusion
に詳しい人
0% run. Here's
解説
hoping
に
it
入って
doesn't
いいですよ。
accidentally turn into a 1% run.
私は、見てるだけ
We
で
have a
すげえと
$25
か
donation from
言う
Fat
だけ
Guy
で
and
す。
Spence that says, pulling for this epic comeback to happen by Team Birdo. Rally shots in honor of our boy, grandpoobear. We have a $50 donation from
こ
Anonymous
の
that says, had to
日本語
donate
の
during
リ
the
ストリー
Mario
ム
Relay.
は
I'm
割
looking
と
forward to this
流
all
動
week.
的に
Let's get to 1 million. Go Team
スタッフじゃなく
Boom
て
Boom.
今見ている人がいきなり解
By
説
the
す
way,
るってい
ladies
う
and
ことも
gentlemen, we
かなり
are just under 33,000
そういうパターンもあるの
from
で
$1 million.
そういうパターンもあるのでかなりこう面白いですよ。
And I don't know about
誰が
you, but
話
with
す
the
かわから
length
ない
of this upcoming 0% run, I think we can break that big 1 mil. So let's make it happen. We have a $150 donation from Anonymous that says, first time watching live and donating. Super Mario World is my favorite game ever and the first one I ever beat. Love watching you guys destroy it. Ditch Yoshi, but save the animals.
ああ、そうなんですね。スーパーメトロ
By
イ
the
ド
way,
の
once again, shout outs
後
to
が
both
メトロイドフ
GDQ
ュー
chat,
ジ
the
ョンなんです
GDQ
ね。
attendees, our incredible technical staff, all of the runners, and everyone who has helped to make Games Done Quick this year an absolute success. You guys are the
0%.
reason that we come back and do this every single year, so give yourselves a huge round of applause.
いや、そんなことないですよ
Claps。for themselves. The self-deprecation is
プレイしたことあって、例えば今取ったアイテムがこういうアイテムでこの敵に有効だとか、それだけでいいです。
Doctors without orders. Donation goes to reader's choice. One moment.
もしね、もうそういう気軽にもう知ってることを話してくれるだけでいいんで。なので、ジャパニーズリストリームのね、ページの下の方にあるディスコードの招待コードが入ってる、リンクが貼り付けてあるので。
So here it is. Don't worry. I think I can reimburse him. That's sweet. Thank you so much, Bust and Smash. We have a $150 donation from Thanda that says, sitting on the couch
一人じゃなくて二人とかでもいい
on
です
a
か
very thankful for my wife for putting up with me gasping at the feats of skill by all the runners. Good luck, runners.
じゃあこの人が入ったんだったら俺も入ろうかなとか。途中からでもいいですね。メトロイドフュージョンは
We also have another $250 donation from Anonymous that says, Go Birdie, Go Birda, Go Birdo, Go Birdo!
まあ1時間
Did really good.
まあ1時間半くらいはあるの
We
で
have a $50 donation
途中から入ってもらってもいい
from
です
Lord
し
Licorice that says, Props to the runners and extra props
まあ
to the
もちろんコメン
commentators
ト
for
で
clearly explaining all the
コメン
crazy
トでね
tricks.
なんか
I'll
今
donate
のは
another
こうですよみたい
$25
なの
if
言って
Arthur
くれる
Blues gives
だ
us
け
his
でも
best Captain Lou Mario impression. We have a $250 donation from Dr. Anonymous. I remember my kids playing Super Mario back when they were
いや
little.
そうなんですよ
They're all grown now,
実
but
は
I'll never forget those happy
でも
memories. As
な
a
んか
doctor, I have an
こう
incredible
見てる
amount
人
of
が
respect for what MSF
こう
does.
コメントだけじゃな
And I
く
couldn't think
会
of
話
a
に
better
入れ
cause
る
to
っていうの
donate
もこのディ
towards.
スコードのすごくい
$150
い
towards
ところ
saving
なん
the
で
animals and $100 towards using Omnislash on
割と
Sephiroth. Final Fantasy VII just wouldn't be the same
そういう
without
と
that
ころは緩く
dramatic
なって
ending.
ますね
We have a $150
Here's the
donation
animal.
from Anonymous that says, My wife and I have loved watching GDQ and the runners for the past 2 years. We love the event and the cause and wish everybody the best. Be safe and save the animals. By the way, an update on the Kill the Animals, Save the Animals incentive. Currently, Save the Animals leads with 95,000. I'm sorry, it just changed $96,000 to 94.8 on Kill the Animals, meaning Save the Animals leads by $1,100.
いやーこれメトロイド中に大台突破
We
するか
have
もしれません
a
ね
$200 donation from Anonymous that says, I've been away from home all week, so I haven't gotten to watch many of the runs, but I still had to donate to my favorite gaming event, along with AGDQ, of course. Thanks to all the staff and the runners. We also have a $500 donation from fandomservices.com that says, hello and good luck to all the runners from fandomservices.com. Had to donate during the Super Mario Relay. Great to see this dream become a reality this year. Donation goes to kill the animals because keeping the possibility of setting a record alive.
メトロイドだけじゃなく、この後の FF7 のね解説も大募集中なんで。
We have a $2,000 donation from Special Circumstances. That says, I'm proud of everybody involved with this event. Big shout out to grandpoobear for keeping me entertained over the past 18 months and compelling me to donate to a great cause. Let's go $1 million! Which reminder, we are $30,000 from $1 million, y'all!
ね、その勢力を、今のね、ドネートの勢力を
We have $200 from Sylphie that says, kill animals to the left of me, save them to the right, and here I am donating $200 for poo. Save the animals. We have a $1,000 donation from BK that says, this is Google money. I work for them and they will match this donation. Team Birdo, Team Boom Boom, Team Resner. We have another $1,000 donation from Leibniz. That says, had to donate during the Mario race in honor of my favorite young boy on Twitch, Darbian. Oh, it's pronounced Leibniz. Oh, I am so sorry. I butchered your name. Feel free to write a complaint to me later. I'm sorry. We have $150 from Isle Gato that says, save the frames, kill the hands, and the animals.
土曜日だし来てくれるさっき。
$250 donation from Peter that says, we have to get that Dark Souls bonus game incentive met. By the way, a quick update on that. Let me find that in my notes. Where are you, Dark Souls? Here we are. By the way, a reminder, Dark Souls with Kiln Skip is now a $50,000 incentive. We are currently at almost 4,000 of that. So if you want to see Bubbles Del Fuego with that sick Kiln Skip Dark Souls run, make sure you get those donations in now. We have a misread. Oh yeah, no, I got that. $200 donation from Gresh that says, long time watcher, first time donating. I must say that I've enjoyed watching all these talented runners celebrating each other's accomplishments while also helping people around the world.
そっか、キルジアニマルっていう。これはね、メトロイドに詳しい人に言っていただいた方がいいですね。どっちのルートで行くかっていうのは寄付金でね。
We have a $1,070 donation from Yuna Kitten.
キルはセブはスーパーメトロイドの最後の救出で動物を救うか見殺しにするかを選択できるのですが。
As promised, I donated what was left of Smugathon to Doctors Without Borders so we can help even more people. Shoutouts to the Nala Smug Pride. Thank you so much, Unikitten, for that insane generosity. And on that same note, another $1,000 donation from Average Guardian. That says, this week at GDQ has been the highlight of my year. So awesome to see my favorite streamer and great friend Pooh running in another GDQ
実際はその最後の選択、本当に最後の方まで行ってそこぐらいしか違わないらしいんですけど。
All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we are going to go ahead and flip over to Metroid Fusion 0% with JRP 2.